test. You got the power. If the road is pretty done, we'll free summertime just all our ideas do. I'm smoking Newports and I'm drunk on vodka. Then I just had sex with Felicia D. She's got no kids. You got the touch. You got the power.
SCU. You are now listening to Shattercast Uncut. Prepare to be shattered with your hosts, Matt Baldwin, Skullface, Greg for Mercy, Oscar NJ Boy, T2RX6, Mega 81. Welcome to Shattercast.
What's up, everybody? It's Skullface filling in for Big Shoes, the biggest shoes of them all, Mr. Oscar, who will not be with us for a while. He squaring away the home front.
I have said.
Yes. So I'm trying to think of something on the fly. I'm nowhere near as squared away as he is. It's episode 38. I don't know. What do 38-year-olds do? You know what? They practice law. They practice law in New York. Shout out to Robert. And
we're 38. We're addressing Oscar's legal issues.
Yeah. Why I got you, Matt? Robert wanted me to pass along a message for you. He tattooed his. Do me a favor. Tell Matt I tattooed his fave to my left nut. Oh, his face. His face. He tattooed your face to his left nut.
Oh shit.
And then he said, whatever his comeback is, say that's what your mom said. So anyway, shout out to Robert. So yeah, we're unorthodox. We've lost our structure. We don't have Oscar with us, and we're gonna try to get this shit down to a somewhat of a routine by the time he comes back, just in time to fuck it up for anything we've built it towards. We do have a special interview tonight that we will splice into it. Who it is, you'll just have to wait and see. But we're gonna get this show going as to not waste any time. So with us tonight is my brother from another mother with similar sensibilities, my Velociraptor stepbrother, Greg for Mercy.
Man, I'm fucking exhausted. Ugh.
There's that.
I'm spent.
And
it's like 1:30 in the morning.
Also with us tonight is our news hound who has sex with lots of girls, and his name is Antoine Lewis, a.k.a. Mega 81.
Why you got to my business, though, man?
and how did you possibly manage to make it sound uncool? I don't.
I'm tired. I've had a rough week myself. I'll get into that in a second. And also with us tonight is our favorite fanboy, Mr. Matthew Baldwin Deluxe, who has been sticking up for, what is it, Slog in the chat all day, even though people have had the smartest, fucking funniest comments to make about it. Well, let me tell you real quick before he even says hello. He got Slog, which is sludge from Age of Extinction, and is very happy about it. He posted pictures of it like in the shopping cart, and then pictures of it on his nightstand. And he posted this picture of it, posted it in the chat, and the first response from anyone back to it was from Justin, who said something along the lines of, "So guns still look stupid on the sides, huh?" But anyway, Deluxe, say good evening.
I don't care. He protected me and my wife last night, so fuck y'all. Oh, and hey, everybody.
And also our favorite reviewer, the most credible of credible reviewers, Mr. T2RX6, who I just watched his Skywarp review today, and all I could think about was karma for him correcting me in a video, and then Greg from Mercy correcting him.
Yep, that's definitely true. What's going on, everybody?
And myself, and I have had a fucked up week. My daughter broke her arm and required emergency surgery, and she's recovering, and she's got a long road ahead of her, but she is a fucking trooper and probably tougher than your boyfriend, dad, gym teacher, and grandpa who fought in World War II combined. And with that being said, I want to also make note that Shattercast Uncut with the Rock 25 logo are available in shirt form for $25 and hoodies for $50. We have bumper stickers and magnets. Contact us anywhere. Tell us what you need, and we will get that out to you ASAP. Fear Corpse on Twitter can attest to how quickly I will get that shit right to your door. With that being said, what did we get this week? Antoine.
Yeah, I got finally got Rat Trap and the Slog.
The Slog.
Yeah, pretty good.
You didn't post a picture of Slog and put it in the... forget about it.
Yeah.
Deluxe.
I got the wonderful Slug, and I got BotCon 2005 little exclusive of Ratchet and Flame War.
Lucky.
For what?
Lucky?
Yeah. I got it for $150, so this thing's worth like 3 times that much. So
it's like going third place in a contest.
I don't know, but I mean they're in John mode, so whatever. Mm-hmm. But I did it just because later on if I want to sell them, I can get a good price for them.
Sure.
So, but I don't sell shit. So,
Greg from Mercy, what'd you get?
You got a mute button.
Yes, he did.
Gregors.
Wait for him to figure it out. Okay, it's
he
not gonna
was exhausted.
He may be out. C2RX6, what did you get, buddy?
I got some replacement parts. Shout out to the YouTube user who watched my...
God damn it, I was muted, motherfuckers.
See, I knew this was going to happen. As soon as I start talking, god damn it, I was muted, motherfuckers. I knew it was coming.
I muted because I was screaming. And I didn't want anybody to hear it because I got pissed off, and that's actually part of what I fucking got.
All right, what'd you get?
Well, I finished my Feral Rex. I had to clean him up a couple times because I got a little too excited. I got X-Transbots Ollie.
Ski.
I got some other things. But what pisses me off is I got a knockoff oversized what's this fucking name? Trailbreaker. Just to check it out, whatever. It's a novelty. It's not gonna take any shelf space. I just wanted to see what it was like. But I got a set of the they call them Rumble, I call them Frenzy, and Ravage knockoff tapes. Just check them out. And I said in the chat, and I said on another podcast Monday night that they were solid as fuck, whatever. Well, I'm sitting here and I pick up my fucking Frenzy Rumble, whatever, and I'm like, I remember there being gold chrome paint, and I look at my thumb, and my fucking thumb's gold. So I want to see the guy who tried to jump in and fucking make a claim that he turned me into a fucking knockoff buyer. I'm going to come and take that goddamn $20 out of your fucking pocket. So that being said, I got a couple of... I got Windblade and Jaxus.
Nice.
Yay!
And I got a Loot Crate, which was pretty solid.
Yeah, I need to get on that. Justin,
I got an Alien figure. Sorry.
Yeah, the vintage looking ones. I'm thinking about getting those Back to the Future vintage figures, the Doc and Marty. I don't know if you've seen them. They're pretty cool though.
I have. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. What'd you get there, Justin? I'm sorry for your.
All right. Are we not going to get jumped in on the mute here?
I hope Oscar jumps in.
Oh yeah, I was going to say that. All right, I got Scott Wharf and I got.
All right, so like I was saying, shout out to the YouTube user who watched my Sencho Barbosa review and said, "Hey man, your dude's missing his piece of his tail," and so I got that replacement part along with a new cannon for my Warbitron Brawl because I didn't want to complain about it, but while I was complaining, I might as well. I also completed my Feral Rex, but have not actually seen it yet. They're still in the box because I'm opening things one at a time so I can savor that feeling of new toy goodness.
Sure.
I got the Generations Roadbuster, which in person looks better than I thought he was looking in pictures, but again, he's not out of the box, so I could be completely wrong. The Leader Jetfire looks freaking awesome, and I really like that figure, and wish he was built to like the 2006-2007 standards with solid plastic, and I think I'd give him like almost a flawless rating in that case, but as he stands, probably a solid 7-8 fig, I'd say, and I like that he's about the same size as my Masterpiece Seeker, so that makes me happy, personally. And I got Columpio and the warning line for Prometheus. So that's what I got this week. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I also got the Generations G-Axis, which I'm thinking of making into Shitstorm.
Nice.
A Night Beat who is missing a paint app on the back, one of his yellow paint apps. So shout out to Awesome Quality Control. Whatever else, the cross-cut wise thing. I don't know what he's called. And I don't. Who was the last one? Oh, Windblade. Yeah. So unremarkable. I couldn't remember her. So
Can I get a Hail Hasbro?
Hail Hasbro.
Barbosa.
Yeah, Justin, I'll tell you though, if you put a little bit of glue on her joints, she makes a good bot.
I'm gonna have to. I mean, I don't like the way that the wings don't tab into anything in vehicle mode. And what the hell's with the stupid feet just sticking straight up on that toy in jet mode? Like, you couldn't have put in just a pin to flip those things down and make the fast pack actually look somewhat, hidden. I don't know. It's horrible.
Hail Hasbro, you still bought it.
But that head though.
The head is good. Did you look at the instructions on yours at all?
I did not. I didn't get the instructions because
okay.
Someone didn't fucking send them. 100% complete my ass.
So, Bobertson, when you look at that figure, did you look at the instructions on it? At all?
No.
Because if you look at the instructions, they're like, yeah, and then you can just like pull her head crest off and she can hold it all weirdly. I'm like, really? And like, I've pulled at this thing. I'm like, no, I'm breaking this thing if I try to take this off.
I told him that, actually, because I figured it out the next day. It was in promo images.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in promo images.
Mine definitely does not come out, so...
Oh, mine does. Like a champ.
I got I got something to kind of confess I got in a minute, but I got
herpes.
The cyborg daughter.
Very nice. I got Tigress.
Nice.
And completed my Feral Rex, and he is everything I thought he would be. And I got the complete season of Beast Machines. I've watched one episode so far.
You're a sick bastard.
I know. I've never seen it, so I got one episode down. 17 more to go.
Many great ones to come.
So you haven't even gotten to the point where it just starts going like super downhill yet,
No. Actually, so far it's not too terribly awful.
Yeah, give it time.
Yeah,
I thought that was at the end of the credits of the first episode. That's when it started to go down.
Then I got a lot to look forward to. Speaking of Hasbro animated productions, rumor is that Transformers Animated is going to make a return in some form or fashion. According to artist Marcelo Martier, I need a Spanish. I need my Oscar. I need my Oscar to say this correctly. But known for several pieces of work, including an extensive profile of Transformers, just dropped a bit of a teaser that is sure to send a corner of the Transformers fandom into a frenzy. That he is working on Transformers Animated again. So we don't know in what capacity. We don't know if it's a video game. We don't know if it's a comic book. We don't know if it's a show. But for those who are fans of Transformers Animated, it's coming back into circulation in some way, shape, or form. Thoughts,
it's pretty exciting.
Is that exciting?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I've loved Animated, so I think I definitely look forward to something. I don't know how it could be another Allspark Almanac, because I feel like they've done possibly everything they could touch on. Like the Allspark Almanac says more than the actual TV show says at this point. So I don't know what more you could add.
I don't think it could be a show either.
Yeah, I could see. I don't know. I guess I could see a direct to DVD. It could be a direct to DVD movie or something. But
yeah, that would be pretty cool. Maybe finish some of the toys that they didn't put out.
Yeah, I mean. I'm looking forward to it, regardless what it is. I do really like Animated. I think it's one of probably the more underrated Transformer shows. Yeah. So.
Oh, I wish they'd make the Omega. Oh, that would have been awesome.
I wonder what this guy. What is it? Marcelo. I'm going to do a little Google search.
I think it's
Matiere
or something like that. I believe is how you say it.
I just call him Sacho Barbosa. all you gotta
Hey,
do.
Matt, I gotta be honest with you, man. I love when you do that shit. I
Thank
really
you.
like whenever I'm like listening to it, like in the show, and I hear you do it. Like I do have a little smile comes to my face. That might be a future T-shirt idea.
I like it because I do it from like nowhere. Like y'all be talking about shit that has nothing to do with anything about Sancho, and I'll just say, I'll do it. And well, anyways, but yeah, I'm excited. I mean, if animated made it back with a new show, straight to movie DVD, just like the Beast Wars did, or Beast, whatever, it'd be pretty cool. I mean, I would look forward to it if they made some other toys, that during the cartoon that they didn't make it to the shelves. That'd be pretty sweet.
I'm guessing it's something to do with IDW. What do you guys think it is?
I think that's the most logical thing. I mean, comic books aren't super duper expensive to, produce comparatively. And, if it fails, then you put out an issue and then don't put out anymore. So,
yeah.
That's probably the most logical thing that it is. And if it is, then I'll get it because, I would like to know what happens after season 3 of animated because there's a huge gap that they could be drawing story on, but who knows?
Right.
Would you be happy with like just like a 5-part series maybe that would end the series?
Yeah, I'd be happy with that. Just it's continuing the fiction and giving a fitting end to that TV show because it definitely leaves it wide open.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And
right.
But what seems kind of more likely is going to be like, yeah, we're working on the next BotCon exclusives or something like that. And those molds are available to BotCon, so it wouldn't surprise me if something like that happens too. So.
Speaking of things you won't see at BotCon, third-party slingshot for the Combiner War Superion. So this is by Bezel Boss, who I don't think we've seen anything from since like way early third-party stuff. I could be wrong about that.
They do a lot of heads.
Yeah,
they did the Cliff Jumper.
The Cliff Jumper, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they did a Red Alert and they did an Inferno, I think, too, or something like that. Or it was an upgrade kit for Red Alert and Inferno.
Was that was the Cliff Jumper was like a limited to 300? It was like really expensive.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was had a lot to do with its time too.
Okay.
Because it was like the very beginning of third party, like the.
Yeah. That's back when the Ultra Magnus add-on kit and all that stuff.
But what I will say is that I find it hysterical that this company's got shit like lined up already for something like, you know what I mean? Like they're like, look, we know it's going to be needed. We're not exactly sure how the combiner ports work or anything like that, but
we know you need it. Yeah.
Yeah, we got your back. We're on it.
Well, they
It's
probably
like
saw
the
the people griping about the helicopter and everything.
Yeah, it's like the wolf from Pulp Fiction. It's like, I'm on the mother.
on one hand, though, it is a really smart thing because they've put it out there so early. Like, yes, we are doing this, and it kind of throws the gauntlet out there. Like, just if you're another third-party company, don't even bother. Like,
right, we got it.
Well, that's the question. Or you think they're going to make it? Or you think it's going to be made?
Well, that's questionable. I mean, because in terms of the company, we haven't actually seen any transforming third-party products, so I would question the quality on that.
Right. Right. Yeah, because they just done, like you said, add-on kits for stuff. I mean, have they really done a full-blown figure?
Yeah.
And I guess they're still doing an add-on kit. It's just an add-on.
They are absolutely. They're doing an add-on
that's
kit.
True.
So,
Greg, what are your thoughts?
I haven't had a chance actually to look at this link.
It's just a silhouette.
If it's an add-on, if it's an add-on for those combiners, I'm really not interested. I mean, I think it's cool they're doing it. They're going to make one right out the gate, but I already have a Superion. I don't need a knockoff. You know what I mean?
Wait, no. See, it's not a fucking knockoff. Okay, Hasbro made fucking Superion first. All right. This is not a fucking knockoff. What you bought, the last couple of things you bought are fucking knockoffs. All that shit you bought, the G2 fucking side swap, that shit you bought, that crap, that's fucking knockoffs. This is not a knockoff.
Wait, the original G2 sideswipe I bought is...
The masterpiece you bought was a knockoff. It's a piece of shit. It's a knockoff. That fucking Trailbreaker you bought is a fucking knockoff. It's pieces of shit that knock off Hasbro, which was there first. That's not a knockoff.
Yeah, but the piece of shit comment's kind of debatable there, homie.
The shit you buy is debatable too, homie.
I love that.
Damn fucking Prid Deluxes.
Well, look,
Alright.
Deluxe. Do you think in your heart of hearts that this Superion is going to be superior for?
Of course he does.
To coin the term to Uranus.
To TFC. I don't know if it's gonna be superior, but I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah,
And-
that ain't the question because you enjoy a lot of shit.
I know.
I want on this because he said he doesn't know, and I'm going to come out
I
as
don't know.
TFC and say that Uranus is the weakest product they put out. So if he doesn't think surely that the Hasbro product is going to be superior to their weakest product, I'm just saying
I
it's
don't know for sure.
defeat.
I haven't picked it up yet. I had the TFC one, and I said I like it. But I'm just saying I don't know anything about this yet. I haven't even touched it yet. Once I get it in my hands, I will tell y'all if it's superior or not. And you can take that oversized Trailblazer and stick it up your ass, Greg.
I sense hostility.
Speaking of things getting stuck up people's asses, Matt and I will be room 218.
That's fine. That's fine. You can bring that Trailbreaker too. We'll use it as a dildo for you, man.
Do
I'm gonna bring my camera too, motherfucker. It's gonna be a cat exclusive.
Have you painted that Trailbreaker yet?
No, I'm not gonna fuck with it. I mean, it's cool, but it just doesn't it doesn't have a place. I was curious more than anything else. It's decent quality if that's what you're into, but
Yeah, well, I'm kind of anxious to see it because I need you to take a picture of that bad boy behind Red Alert or something, or Sideswipe and give me an idea. Because
you remember when you threw yours across the room or
kicked it? Yeah.
When you texted me and were like, "I hate toys made for kids."
Yeah.
It's that bigger. Those
Right.
apps are still there.
I just wonder if, on the back of a shelf, tightened up, painted well.
Who the fuck are you, Matt Baldwin?
Oh.
Oh boy! All right. So, speaking of something that is shockingly awesome, this fucking Warbatron Afterburner blew my fucking mind. Having seen all those those images, those prototype images of those gray block, orange block, etc. This thing is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I'm excited for Computron.
And you can tell they're already they're continuing to improve some people think this is a bit much, including myself sometimes, but there's molding in the lips and stuff like that on this guy, and I don't know. I think that I've got high hopes for Warbatron and their future products. I think that they're on to something.
Yeah, but the only thing I wish is they would finish Bruticus first, and then, because I think this one's going to come out before the last two limbs come out.
Yeah, I think so too. But I don't know.
Haven't we seen Vortex shots in package at this point?
Yes.
We did. Yeah, we saw one shot, I think, where it's in package. But this one, BBTS showed, they changed the picture on it and everything. I don't think it's going to be out this month, but it's getting closer, and they moved the other two the Bruticus parts to next month. So I think this one can come out before even the last two parts of Bruticus come out.
It's totally possible. I don't know. I'm not against them showing this next piece, and that's fine with me. But I too would like to see Bruticus come out first. But with the the fact that whatever happens. So far, I think it looks really good, and I just picked up my Heavy Noisy and the whatever the hell the Swindle analog is called, and I just I forgot how much I was impressed with those two.
Yeah.
So I really I like their toys. I worry because of the problems Greg's had, but I haven't had those problems. Knock on wood or press board or whatever you believe in. So.
Yeah. But this shot of it makes you actually interested in Afterburner. Has anybody really been interested in Afterburner before?
Oh yeah.
It looks gorgeous. It really does. It looks fucking badass. He's ready. And Computron's not really known for being a badass, combiner. They've always been, the smart one. But this one looks like he can, really kick ass. I like it.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing to me about this particular character here is like the whole set completed at this point. It doesn't seem like it's going to cost a whole bunch more than the Make Toys one too, which, you know, and plus that by buying each individual figure, it's an installment plan type thing, like win, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Like if you get one, you don't like it, you don't have to buy the other 4.
Yeah.
Just like the Make Toys.
My only concern is that we're going to get like 6 combiners. But just the limbs of all 6.
Yeah, well, I'm totally positive.
We're gonna be the knockoff one, like at Big Lots, well, Minnesota with some afterburner parts.
And that's my concern is I'm not going to see the onslaught.
Yeah, that onslaught. It all fucking pinges on that onslaught.
Yeah, I mean, it could definitely go all downhill with him, but
they should be showing some pictures of him soon. Maybe.
I don't care about pictures. It's the joints.
Yeah, it's those joints
and the quality. Because Bobby and I have talked about this, and I forget. So forgive me if I sound like I'm being rude. Bobby and I talked. We didn't talk about it on the show. I will get the ones I got rid of again if the onslaught is solid. But I am not going to sit here with how much fucking invested in it to get some fucking floppy ass, like fall apart fucking bodies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not doing it again. I've done it once. I'm not doing it again.
You think they'll show them at TFCon though?
Maybe.
Might have a prototype of them.
But that doesn't matter. I want to see it in action. I want to see it released, and I want somebody I trust, Justin, to have it in hand. And
I bet they show it combined at TFCon.
No, I bet you they don't, because you don't ever see anybody. You don't. It's been my experience that you don't ever see anybody affiliated with TFC at TFCon. Like if I'd be happy to be wrong. Don't get me wrong, but like, even like the one in Canada this year, TFC they gave one new picture reveal. Like everything else was like you might know us from. But then it was just those 2 silhouettes. It wasn't even. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
Without a prototype on hand, and it was the same way the year before. It just doesn't feel like they're that in touch with the American market, or I guess I should say the West, because Canada's not America, even though it seems like it's our hat. Or a loft apartment over a great big party. I've also heard it referred to. Anyway, so, and then to keep the world balanced, VS Forged weapon add-on kit gave Wolverine claws to Weird Wolf. Does anybody get this?
No, I do.
You do?
Oh, I thought you said, is anybody not getting this? I'm sorry.
No. I'm not knocking you, Antoine, for putting it in. I'm glad you put it in. I'm just saying, like, I don't understand this. Like, did he do this in any of the cartoons or any of the comics, or is it just saying
it was that same issue where he had full body fucking memento tattoos?
Yeah.
I mean, it says due to popular request, so this must have had a lot of people asking for this.
I wonder why.
It was the dude's mom sending an email over and over every fucking day.
Do it.
Maybe those claws look good. You might want to make them.
You might want to make them.
Yeah, fuck you.
No.
I'm just kidding. It says due to popular request, we decided to produce a limited run. I don't know why the fuck they did it. Somebody's gonna buy it, but not me.
Are you familiar with anything about this? Like, are you familiar with like any sort of fiction or anything that this is based on?
Oh man.
Yeah, you.
Oh, my fault.
No,
I don't know. I mean, I just saw it as add-on kits. I don't.
When you click on the selling link, it says "We'll be back soon."
Yeah, right.
I don't think these need add-ons. Really, I mean, I think they're perfect enough. I mean, even though this out of the 3 out right now, that's the weakest one out of them. I don't really think they need add-on kits at all.
I really like this.
Matt, are you sitting down?
Yeah, I'm taking a shit.
I agree with you.
Oh. Well, we're just gonna snuggle later on. I know that.
Yeah, but
So apparently, Get Right Robot is going to release the Cybertronian Bumblebee thing that got shut.
I told y'all that like a month ago, man.
You did indeed. You did indeed.
Hail, get right, robot. Hail, Jason.
Hail, Jason. Are you? What do you?
This is a blind bag thing, or blind pack.
Blind packs. Yeah.
I can't even get to the link.
Like
Blind packs of Wasp, Glyph, and Tap Out. Which ones are these, Justin? I can't keep the
Wasp, of course, is green. Glyph is blue, and Tap Out is white, I believe.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking stupid, Jason. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. No, you stupid.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not sure I get this.
I don't quite understand the blind pack thing. And see, okay, so here's the thing behind blind packs. They cost like $2, $3. Stupid cheap money that you're like, yeah, whatever, I'll buy 300 of them until I get the one figure I want, you know? Like, that's how they work, and I don't think that this is going to be the case, you know? Like, I suspect that they're not going to be $2-3. They're probably going to be significantly more expensive, so I don't understand that. And it's clearly hinging on the fact that, well, we know there's going to be some figures that you don't actually want. You know, not everybody wants a Tap Out, so...
Right.
Why bother making it then? You know, just make characters you know you can sell, and I don't know. It seems like a smarter choice to me. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll be the next millionaire.
Exclusive. So. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I don't grasp this one, man. I'd probably be in for the Bumblebee. But yeah, this one seems bizarre to me. This seems like a bizarre choice. I'm not sure I grab it what they're getting at here.
Right, it feels like it's just a way to try to make money off the mold more than anything.
Agreed.
This is completely just me talking and me having like a little bit of faith. Whenever I fucking lose faith in humanity, I buy some more. Maybe this is just the fucking. This is just to facilitate or finance like a proper version.
Right. Maybe
he plays shit like this pretty close to his chest. I mean, you know, I didn't get any details when I asked him. He told me China. Well, that was the answer he gave me, so I put everything else together. But
China.
That's what I was like. Where's my fucking? I was like, where's my fucking Bumblebee? And he was like, China. So, I mean, maybe I don't know.
Huh.
Blind bag, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, and then how much are we talking? Are we talking $40 blind bag? You know what I mean?
I'll buy 6.
I mean, I see those little blind boxes that Greg buys, like at Toys R Us, and I'm like, $10. I don't know.
That's not what the fuck you said. You were like, man, I'm kind of in for a couple of these. Oh, if they weren't blind bag, I'd buy them. And I was like, oh, you can buy them for less than retail on eBay. You're like, okay. And I was like, but no, let's tell the truth here. I was like, but Skywarp goes for like $100. You're like, I don't know, man. That Skywarp be eating me up. I need to get that one too.
Yeah, well,
you were all about that shit.
But that's my point. Is that I won't go into them on blind bags. Like I would buy them straight up, but I won't. I can't even gamble $10 on something I kind of want. You know,
do what I do. Just open the motherfuckers up in the store and throw them behind the fucking Supreme Class Star Scream.
Well, when I picked up the box initially, I thought it would be like a little like plug-in box, and I was like, "Oh, you crafty fucks!" It's like the glued down kind. Who else has done that? Come on. Oh well. Speaking of things hidden behind things.
Not segue.
Hey. Masterpiece Wheeljack has a hidden face, apparently, that resembles Transformer Animated, and cool to all the animated fans. I could give a fuck less, but I am excited that my Masterpiece Wheeljack is on its way. What do you guys think?
Same.
For the Mythbusters fans, I'm pretty excited, since it was based off the dude from Mythbusters.
Oh, well, there you go.
I think it's awesome for anybody who wants their fucking $80 toy to fucking sit on the shelf with a big hole in its head. Fucking more power to you.
Yeah, that is a little bizarre, isn't it?
Yep.
No, what it is, I'm talking shit. Honestly, what it is.
What?
What?
Sorry.
Matt was singing a
you picked the
song.
other.
I'm done. Sorry, I'm back in my corner. Shit.
All right, Greg. Tell me.
What it is, like MPO1. Did anybody break their MPO1? Anybody rip its face off to see the little mouth?
Yep.
There's reference to that. Well, you know what I'm talking about, though. That is reference to the...
God damn it, how many times do I have to say yes till you understand that I did it?
Can't fucking hear you because I'm trying to talk. It's a reference to that Marvel comic, the LG one. It's the same thing. Everybody wants to read into it. Like, I've seen people like, oh, they're doing this to differentiate, make it hard to copy the mold, or they're doing this so you know which one's not the knockoff and which one's official. It's just fan service, man. It's like people read too much into this shit. It's a designer,
What?
like actually doing something that like they're doing something like they're doing something because they love the character. Like they just threw this in. Like this isn't like an official. Like it's not meant to be displayed like this. It's just like that mouth on fucking Optimus Prime. It's just something they did out of love for the character.
Yeah, this is gonna be the same thing. The people who display their Wheeljack without the faceplate and stuff are the same people who are gonna have the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus without the Ultra Magnus front half of the head. You know, just so you have that white Optimus piece underneath.
Like hipsters, they're gonna be cool. Like nobody's doing it.
Just so the fans know it's there. It's just there so you know it's there.
With skinny jeans and bent iPhones.
That's cool. That's cool. I have a protective case for my iPhone.
And you probably also don't wear skinny jeans. Yeah,
no, I do not.
Yeah, cheap plastic.
What?
Cheap.
But Matt keeps saying what? Like, are you not agreeing with what I'm saying, or
he
I
doesn't understand what Antoine's saying. Cheap plastic.
Oh, I thought you said cheap plastic. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about the iPhone.
My bad. No, I believe what you said, Greg, was true. I mean, it right on. I mean, it was spot on.
Yeah, calm down, Greg.
God damn it! Shut the fuck up! I'm talking.
Hey, calm your tits down.
Go make your wife a sandwich.
I'll tell you what, my iPhone 6 works like a champ, and I'll tell you what else. Just speaking of which, off the topic, you know what I like about fucking iPhones? They don't feel the need to fucking belittle the competition because they're not worried about it. They just put their shit out, and people fucking buy it. They don't need to trash the other company in order to sell their product. They just are who the fuck they are.
Behind.
People who
they just are who they are.
2 years
anyway,
behind.
TCC, TFCC Serpent Ore, which people, even people who I think highly of on this podcast, seem to be relatively intrigued by this unit. And there's pictures of him, and he's got a snake on his. It's just fucking with you, Matt. Take it easy. And yeah, I still think it looks stupid. I still don't fucking get it. I still am not interested, and fuck the world.
I'm not getting it, but it's cool.
I don't get what's cool about
It's
it.
only cool because the reference of a G.I. Joe of the guy from Cobra.
Did you ever read the Dreamwave G.I. Joe Transformers books?
That too.
I read the one that took place in World War II.
Okay, well then never mind. Then don't worry about it. You don't get this. Just hit in your thing. Keep on moving. Hey, this toy killed fucking Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Where no one else could. He just crushed him with like fucking Omega's fucking red fucking wrist whips. It was like he'll be missed or some shit like that, and like threw him to the side.
Did he look like this too?
Yeah, well, similar. It was a Pentor. It was just a Pentor, but he was like a android that was built, and he downloaded Megatron. It was like, you know that shit they tried to do in Age of Extinction, where Galvatron put his personality into all the fucking drones or whatever. That's kind of what happened. Like he downloaded Megatron's memory and kind of got his personality, and he thought of himself as his son. He was a man-built like android or whatever. And then there's a point where he gets the Matrix and like he gets upgraded into this like full-on Transformer thing, and things get real gay, and then Dreamwave went out of business. But anyway, that happened. You know, it was 2006, 2007. You know, we can forgive it. But that's what this toy is an homage to.
I gotcha.
And I can't
Yeah,
wait
I'd
to
have to
get it.
see it. Oh, I'm sure.
I think it's creative. I don't think I have a place for it, but it's certainly creative. It's something. I mean, I'm a G.I. Joe fan and I'm a Transformers fan, but I really don't feel I need this. I'm also gonna put in the here in the picture. There's or in the chat I posted a picture from that Dreamwave comic with the Serpentor thing going on.
Okay.
So
I mean, I can see the resemblance at least.
Yeah. I mean, it's creative. It's just not something I need. So, like the rest of the club.
Yeah, I mean,
the club.
I think Justin nailed it when he said, like, you know, I like G.I. Joe, I like Transformers, but like I don't feel like this has a place. That's kind of how I feel, like I like ice cream and I like pizza, but like I don't get ice cream on my pizza. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I will say I enjoyed the Transformers vehicles that, you know, made their way into G.I. Joe. I like that. But again, I didn't go out of my way to pick up every single one. I certainly didn't need 2 Sky Strikers. I just picked up the one that I thought personally was more interesting, the Jetfire one with the unique fast pack accessory, you know? So, that's just me. Whatever. To each their own.
Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, there's that. And we have...
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
You can. Okay, goddamn, my button was stuck, like my touch screen. I couldn't get it on mute. When I was screaming from across the room, when you said you like pizza and you like ice cream, but you wouldn't have ice cream on your pizza, if you were the goddamn Olsen twins, you would.
That's a good point.
Think about it.
That song is awesome.
I want pizza.
It is awesome.
Put it on the pizza. That's my favorite part of that shit. I'm gonna pull it up. That part where that part. Anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about? There's like this video. It's like a viral thing. It's on YouTube of like some terrible movie that Mary-Kate and Ashley were in when they were kids, and they do this song about how they want pizza, and like somebody slowed it down where it kind of sounds like a rap tune.
There's even some out there with like actual background singers and crap. It's pretty crazy.
And it's like this one girl who at one point, like in the regular song, it's like meatloaf. It's like, man, put it on the pizza. Like, but like slowed down, it kind of has almost like a Beastie Boys flair to it. And he's like, yeah, put it on a pizza. So I'm gonna try to find it real quick.
There was a little racism in that original, where like they're like fried chicken, and the black girl pops up. She's like, I want that on my pizza.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, the girl who says, put it on the pizza, I'm like, you know, in the slowed down version, I'm like, is that a dude? I'm like, I can't tell. Is this a dude? Yeah, totally agree.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
oh. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're that show.
I need...
So, Matt, how many of these
this,
subscriptions have you ordered while you're waiting?
I haven't ordered any yet. I have till October 2nd to make a decision.
Bad life choice.
I'm leaning over. I'm 95% sure that I'm probably going to get it because I like most of the figures.
Oh gosh. Stop.
That's so gay.
That's
See?
good.
So now I sing it around the house, like if we're having like pizza night, you know, the kids get all excited, and I start singing the pizza song. Put it in a pizza. Anyway,
I'm coming to a party at your place pretty soon. I think I'll bring a pizza just to see if I can prompt the song.
You'll get the full blown.
Yay.
Oh, I just so G2 Starscream. Matt was very excited. I mean, Matt's a Starscream fanboy, so like he posted this picture, and like my comment to it was, "When all else fails, #seeker mode," and it's so fucking true. Like when they can't fucking get it together, they throw the seeker mode at something because they know it'll bring somebody in. This makes me so fucking angry. I'm thinking about selling my classic seeker collection.
Wow. Really? Calm your tits, man. Come on.
All right.
It'll be all right.
I'll try.
It's just another mold. I mean, yeah. I mean, that mold has been fuck. I'm surprised it's still around. I mean, I'm surprised it hasn't just disintegrated yet. But I'm out of all the you know whatever this thing is. This one I'm looking forward to. And if I don't get it, I will pre-order this one. But you know, I like it. Whatever.
I don't know, man. I can't. I've fucking had it.
12, 14,
You know what they should do? You know
What did Justice say?
This is the 31st usage of this mold, according to the TF Wiki.
Damn.
Yeah.
Really?
Do you know what they should do with this mold?
Burn it. Oh,
So I guess
no.
I guess you're counting the Henke and all that stuff, and God dang, and
Combining them
Marco.
all, the timelines, the generations. You know what? I don't even. Does this?
Oh, Justin, you're onto something here. Combining them all.
Yeah. Oh,
Haven't
yep.
done that yet.
What?
Haven't done it yet.
Is that our new? Could that be? No.
Secret.
Now, would
43.
that be the 33rd version or the 62nd version of the mold?
Well, here's the thing, and the classics just list it 30 times, and that doesn't include the BotCon stuff. Like, that's not listed on here.
Oh,
I don't
really?
think. So, yeah.
If
Yep.
any third-party companies are listening, don't get any fucking ideas about the combiner secret thing. Or if you do, just one of you get the idea.
And I prefer your
I'll
name
be-
be Mach 5. I'm just saying.
I'll be the guy. But it's a solid mold if you don't have any better. Oh wait, we already said that. Damn, never mind. Man, that's
I cannot
common
see
fact.
them. I hope they don't do a combiner for the not for the Seekers. That's nuts.
That's
Yeah.
another one of those fan things, man, like the Dinobots.
Really?
You know,
I've never heard
1,000
anybody
times.
say they want that.
You've never
I've
seen
heard
the
it
Seeker?
before.
Yeah.
No, I guess I haven't. I have never seen a Seeker. Anybody ask for that? The Dinobots, yeah, I have, but not the Seekers.
I'm gonna pull you up a custom right now and post the link in the.
Oh, they did a custom. Oh God.
There's been a lot of people that have done them, but hold on one second. I'll post it
Okay.
in the.
I guess I haven't seen it.
I'll put it in the drive.
You know what I did
And
one
then-
time, Bobby? I have
after
it in
I
my
put-
hand right now. I
after I
took
put
two
it-
Dark of the Moon bumblebees, I painted them green, and I glued them together and called it Rack and Ruin. But that didn't mean it was a good idea.
after I put it in the drive, I'm gonna put it in the pizza.
Put it in the pizza.
Got a little bit of lag. It sounded kind of like it actually sounded right. Put it on the pizza. Is that how boring this show is? That we've regressed to Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen. Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Real quick, I wanted to bring up for discussion purposes, Antoine put it in the notes, that there's a company of a bunch of guys, they were formerly associated with Hasbro, and they're making a company called Play With This Too, and they're making, like, their first wave is going to be, like, a heroes and villains kind of wave of, I don't necessarily get the vibe that they're going to be robots.
What are they called?
The company
Play
is
With
called
This Too.
Play With This Too.
Were they in the direct-to DVD movie business? They're making toys.
Honestly, I would have rather seen them be called Play With This Too, and then it's just like Hasbro knockoff toys.
You should have asked our guest.
You know, like third party stuff.
They already tried that with that Striker and their Kickstarter failed.
Sure, maybe.
I tell you what, I used to go into when I was bored. Since this is a derailed night kind of anyway, I used to go into when I was bored. Me and a buddy of mine used to go into this porn store that was right across the street from his house. And
Why are you whispering?
I don't mean to be. And we used to look through the titles and just like show each other like the funniest titles that we could find. And this one, man, I will never forget it. Like, you know, porn stores like relatively like quiet places. Nobody wants to talk or like look you in the eye, or like, everybody's just going on about their business. Like he found this one. He was like, "Oh no way! Check this out!" Like across the store, and I looked at it. It was called "Suck It Right Out of My Balls." Oh,
that's awful.
anyway,
Lobster,
I think
come
this-
back. We miss you.
yes, we're lost without you. I think that this is cool in the sense that, like, you know, it's you know, grassroots, like that kind of, you know, like. But the thing is, this is going to come back to that discussion we were having last week, where, for me, if I have no connection to this character and this is a new company, it's a proper company, but it probably still won't have access to these major factories and distribution and blah, 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 blah. I can't imagine myself spending large chunks of money for characters that I don't fucking have any sort of connection to.
Yeah, I you know, I wish you luck. I hope your stuff is successful, but ultimately it's not going to be for me. And as a Transformer fan, I'm sorry you lost your job at Hasbro. It's actually probably for the better, I would argue. But you know, you don't want to see anybody have lost their job over something like that. But I hope you're successful. It's just not going to be for me. So.
That was cold.
Yeah. Now, if you want to, if you want to
Not gonna
play,
be.
if you want to, Well, I didn't say it's not going to be. I just said it's not going to be for me. I hope that maybe this is the next big kids thing and all the kids everywhere latch onto it and awesome. Good for them. I hope so, for their sake. But for me, I'm not doing it, Now, if they were going to say, play with this too, and it was like like, F you, Hasbro, we're making better characters that we know your fans want, then yeah, hell yeah, come on, bring it on. So.
Just for a frame of reference, just for anyone who's listening, I had put my phone down because I came downstairs and I was saying hello to Kit. And when I put the phone down, we were talking about, like, Bobby was talking about porn stores and, like, porn companies. And when I picked it back up, Justin's talking about maybe this will be the next big thing for kids. Maybe they'll be all over.
Well, the way the world's going, you never know.
That's where I'm at right now.
And apparently Trent Troop is wrapped up in this somehow.
Of course he is.
So there's that. I understand that Mark Wong, he's associated with it, and then Steve Redinger and Trent Troop, and it's just
that's pronounced rib job, by the way.
The thing is like, if for me to be interested in this, like I just the way that I am about shit, like I would need some sort of fiction to have to go along with it. Like if they came out with some straight to DVD movie that got like this critical acclaim, and I checked out the movie and I was like, man, these fucking characters are awesome, then I'd be very interested in there. Wait, that's what Hasbro did. I mean, that's my thing.
Well, I'm like you, Bobby, with that same thing. Like I wouldn't even buy Steel Core.
Right, me too.
Trailer, no, and I know that thing's a good fucking toy. I mean, I've seen it. I mean, Justin tells us every week, and I won't buy it just because like it's not a Transformer. Yeah, it doesn't fit. That's where I draw the line.
And I was Transformer. It fucking transforms, dumbass.
Well,
wow,
by the same extension, if you're gonna call it that, then like, is the Thomas the Tank Engine, knockoff combiner thing a Transformer?
It's a Transformer. Fuck it. It transforms. It combines. It's a fucking Transformer.
And it's better than half the fucking shit the Collector's Club puts out. So, ergo.
Yeah, you bought fucking Ollie, alright? Shut the fuck up.
I did buy Ollie. Ollie's fucking awesome. Don't fucking sit there with your hurt butt, fucking awesome crying, eating fucking meatloaf.
Awesome for a turd.
Shit. How many do you have?
Oh, my God.
That's in your secret mold.
This is going dark places.
That's slog. You can stick guns on it and everything.
At least it has guns. Fuck, Ollie ain't got shit.
Ollie actually, he
Slog
actually
fucking shit on fucking Ollie.
When Matt decides he doesn't like something, that's it, boy. Like that's Sancho Barbosa.
Actually, he has a gun and a slingshot.
Oh,
yeah.
What the fuck ever.
He didn't like Sancho Barbosa either. And now that's his. He's trying to make that his new catchphrase. So
new catchphrase.
Pretty soon he's gonna be going.
It's Oscar's catchphrase.
In the fucking background. He's like, Ollie, available at Dub K.
I've got it. I mean, Greg's been sticking up for Ollie all week. I'm kind of, I hate to say it, but I'm kind of in the deluxe boat with Ollie. I just, there's something about him that's setting my fucking spider sense off. But
that's fine. You don't have to like him.
I know.
You don't have to like him.
I know.
For every Ollie you don't buy, there's one out there for someone with good taste.
Greg wants me to have an Ollie bad.
Maybe the Collector's Club will put one out in a couple of years. We'll do it out of that slog mold.
Oh, you're just going to sell it tomorrow anyway, so what's it matter?
It'll be a triple changer.
The show's going really dark today. I'm just saying.
Welcome to the dark side of SCU.
Hey, dark, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Hey, this is foreplay for Chicago.
I gotta be honest. From episode 1 through 37, I've seen Matt go from like just a kind-hearted individual to a guy who just feels like he's just full of rage anymore. Like.
Yeah,
Did you say he was a Wolverine backed into a corner?
That's what Greg brings out in everybody.
Why do you
he rolls.
Why do you think I'd do it? You're a better person now than you were fucking in January.
Well, thank you.
Hail Hasbro.
Hey, Matt, not for nothing. That show a couple weeks ago that was without you, it was missing something.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will say that. What's up, everybody? We have a special exclusive interview with Mr. Proto Man of TFCon fame. And, we like to bring community-based people to you, the community, and pick their brains a little bit and make this kind of a family thing. I had the pleasure of speaking with him for we probably spoke for 3 or 4 hours in 2013.
Something like that, definitely.
With a couple drinks, and very cool guy, and a wealth of knowledge in that aspect of the fandom. So without wasting too much time, because my man does like to talk. Let me get right into it. How did you get into Transformers? Let's just get that out of the way.
I was 3.5 years old, and my next door neighbor was going to see some movie with his mom, and he was all. By the way, my neighbor was also 2 years older than me. He was 5, and I just was a follower at the time. I would do anything he did, so because he was cool. So I followed him to this movie. We went to the movie together with his mom, and that movie was the 1986 Transformers movie. And that kind of changed my life. And not to say so broadly, but it changed my life forever, because I saw that movie. And I mean, if you take the 86 movie and you look at how cartoons were back in 1986, it was just so different.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just in terms of animation, in terms of adult storytelling. So I thought I saw something that was just mind blowing. And when I left that movie theater, I asked my dad, and this is where it's kind of a funny story where my first Transformer comes in. I asked my dad for that red and yellow robot. Now I meant Hot Rod. My dad came back with Blaster, but and because Hot Rod wasn't out yet in Montreal and Quebec, but Blaster, who was a 1985 toy, was plentifully available in my area. So, and Blaster ended up being my first Transformer, and I was a big fan of watching the season 2 and season 3 cartoon episodes until they pretty much got pulled off the air, because when the time 87, 88 came around, Ninja Turtles came around. So needless to say, my fandom shifted, rightfully to whatever was popular at the time. And then I would actually I would call it epic return to the fandom, was when I was always a very fortunate person because of my mother. She worked in a school, so we always had the best computers at any point, at any time, whether it be the early 90s, the late 80s. So when the mid 90s came around, 1994, 95, we got the internet. And the first thing I checked on the internet was Dragon Ball. But the second thing I checked on the internet was Transformers. And this was before Beast Wars had come out. Beast Wars was just having their toy commercials, but no show yet. And that's where I discovered ATT, which was All Toys Transformers, which before the days of forums, you had discussion groups, which were the most archaic and simplest design, if you will. It's. I mean, if you saw how they function today, it would have been like, man, how do people read these things? It was such a mess back then. And back then, I my parents were like, well, you got to use a screen name. You can't use your real name on the internet. And I created a screen name, and I posted on there. And these were the early days of, the late Generation 2 into Beast Wars. And then to me, the big change was when Benson Yee, who in the fandom is a well-known guy, when he first started his website and started the first legitimate forum, that's when it blew the door out. I just became a major part of the fandom, and I obsessed over the unknown, the Japanese stuff, the stuff that the UK had. Again, when, today we're so spoiled by information and the Wikipedia and everything, but back then, to even know what Star Saber was a big deal.
Right.
Or to see an episode of it, and share rumors, and rumors that became reality, or rumors that stayed as rumors, and all kinds of stuff. So I was there during those early days, and it all evolved into what is today, essentially.
So the 86 movie was the first time of you seeing Transformers?
Anything Transformers. I didn't
so you didn't have like the mind fuck that the rest of us had to like see your all your favorite characters destroyed.
When Prime died, I always compare it to when everyone saw Star Wars and Obi-Wan got killed, meaning that you were more invested into this Luke character, Hot Rod, that when Obi-Wan died, it's like, well, damn, that's too bad. But that's just it. From my perspective, it's like, here's Hot Rod, who's the main character, in my opinion. From that perspective, the mentor dies. passes on leadership.
That's funny.
But really, it wasn't only until after seeing the movie and then watching season 2, season 3, and then when Generation 2 replayed the season 1 episodes and season 2 episodes that this guy's a big deal. Okay,
Right.
I get it now. You know,
Right.
but by then, that's why to me, Optimus, even to this day, I respect the idea of Optimus Prime and his importance and iconicness to Transformers. But to me, he has never been an interesting character. Maybe just from a nostalgic standpoint. I mean, it's sad his death, and it's such a turning point in the fandom and stuff like that. But at the same time, I've always been more fascinated by other characters because of it.
Right.
Maybe because of my first brush with Transformers, I didn't even care for that character. There was just so many other interesting people.
That's crazy.
You're going to
Just
get a
just the
lot of hate
perspective.
messages.
Oh,
No,
being
no,
a Hot
no.
Rod fan, you trust me, you've been having to deal with that since the beginning. You know?
So how did you go from being a fan to being involved with the convention?
Well, it started, I would have to say, around 2005, 2006-ish, when TFCon was really starting to get into full swing. I wasn't a part of staff yet, but I ran a whole bunch of conventions in the East Coast of Canada. And again, my knowledge of running conventions was already a positive thing to have. But then there was that whole, whoa, this is Proto Man, he knows a lot of stuff and everything. So I went to TFCon my first year just as an attendee. And it was my first time ever there. And I participated in the trivia competition. And I don't want to brag, but I destroyed everybody. And I even have, they did a little lithograph and they wrote hardcore on it where no one had even a chance. And Colin, who runs the convention, was kind of like, who the hell is this guy? And if you've seen how I look, I don't look like your, comic book guy. And it was episode 37 where Optimus Prime, I was a guy who carries myself very proudly and really good at trivia knowledge.
Okay.
And excuse me?
Nerd.
Yeah, no, I will agree. When the collection I have, no one, no normal human being should have. The knowledge I have, no normal human being should have. But it's just I went to the show and it really caught the attention of the organizers. And one of my friends who I came down with from Montreal knew the organizers very well. And they were like, who's that guy? And they're like, oh, that's Proto Man. And, he's very well known in the Transformers fandom. He's a big knowledge guy. He has a humongous collection and blah, blah, blah. And this is all prior to the Bay movies and the big explosion of things, too.
I got you. I know I can tell you, I'm not a big online guy. I've not for nothing, I've made leaps and bounds within the last year. But I had no idea who you were at Comic.
Oh yeah,
when we spoke. But I mean, later on finding out how you were so involved in the community and blah blah blah, I was like, well, that's it's a really approachable dude. Because you hadn't met me and we fucking chatted it up. I remember at times telling am I taking you away from something? 'Cause you were fucking talking. You remember?
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what? Saturday night, that's my time to decompress.
Right.
All during the day, I'm so busy. I mean, there's this great photo on the Sunday at the organizers panel. You see me sleeping during the panel, I was just so out of it. But anyways, but from there, they brought me onto staff, and they originally brought me on the staff, and they're like, well, we heard that you're really good with marketing, you're really good with organizing conventions and stuff, and obviously I showed them everything I could do, and they were very happy with that. And I went from just being a guy on staff to the most important person in the convention, short of the head organizer for Megatron. I'm Mr. Number 2, as people call it. So it's just I kind of bled into that and started doing TFCon while still going to BotCon. That's something I always emphasize to people, is that while I might run TFCon, I still love BotCon. I still love going to it. I still love doing it. That's always been a part of me since the beginning. But it's apples and oranges. TFCon and BotCon are two different kinds of conventions. Even don't let the thing about Transformers confuse people. Right. They're two different entities completely when it comes to what you're getting out of them and what you're paying, especially out of that too. But it's that grew heavily, and during that entire time, Major Maystay at TFW 2005, one of the first guys there since its inception in 2002, always been, part of ATT, the Allspark, all the communities. I've been always a part of all of those. So, and again, the name Proto Man is known across the online fandom because of that. Because I'm someone who really likes to share knowledge. A good example, like when you watch a lot of times subtitled Transformer shows, I've helped subtitle that stuff. I've helped with translations or name identification or stuff like that. There's always something I'm contributing in one way or another. In terms, it's right. Like now, as it stands, like TFW is trying to build their knowledge database, and I help with that. Soul Fury, who's another very talented guy in the fandom from TFW.
I got you. So yeah.
And I do write, and I do writing. I do a lot of writing, which I'm very grateful that I'm able to do, because Alex Milne, who currently works on the Mortem CI comic books, he always tries to give me an opportunity to do writing because he really likes the stuff that I do. So I've written some Transformer comics with him a few times, and actually did ghost editing for stuff in the past also with IDW. Again, because of knowledge.
That's cool, man. Yeah. Now, in regards to TFCon, which both myself and Justin, T2RX6, have been to a TFCon and both had pleasant experiences. But I'm sure being in the fandom, that it kind of has the reputation, at least now, of being like the third-party convention.
Well,
how do you feel about that?
Well, essentially, it was one of those things that when we first started TFCon, the reputation it had was it was the Canadian Transformer Convention. It was, but again, how you do it is all about the marketing. Well, when you're in a boxing match, if you're not the strongest guy physically, be the fastest, So if you're against BotCon, and BotCon has the numbers, the panels, the exclusives, the guests, what do you do to make yourself just as good? You got to go the other route. Well, BotCon had this adamant, at least at one point, this adamant hatred for third party, to the point that it wasn't allowed in the dealer rooms, and we went for that. When you make that mistake, we'll go for that angle. And so they would have their big reveals. Oh, hey, here's our big, product preview panel from Hasbro. We have our big reveals, third-party product preview. They have their little interviews with, Hasbro designers and stuff like that. We have third-party designers that are present. They have their exclusives that are made for their convention. We have our exclusives. There is any way that we found an opening to be just as good as them, just as good, not to be better. Just as good would be nice. Just to be their equal was something that we aimed for, but doing it in a way that would be unique, that's not just copying them. Mm-hmm. Because, it's so easy just to, I give you an example. Big Bad Toy Store, they got a whole bunch of exclusives that are made exclusively for their store. I think it was the Dark Energon line, right? Now, they had to pay big money to have official Hasbro-made figures to be exclusive to their store, and it was a bust for them. So for us to push Hasbro to go, hey, we want to have that one-carded exclusive figure for our convention, would have cost way too much money and not have a big payoff, So it's one of those things that you go, maybe we could go about this a different angle. And in our first official one was in 2006. There was a company called Hard Heroes, which were a statue company that had the Hasbro license. They were going bankrupt. So they were pretty much offering the rest of their Hasbro license to anyone that was willing to take it. And so we swooped in and we told them, look, we want to do an exclusive. Could you give us a exclusive statue? And they're like, well, here's the molds that we have left that we could work with and everything. And so what came birthed from that was our quotes, and I use air quotes here, Stealth Cyclonus, which was a metallic-colored, red-eyed Cyclonus bust that we would later repurpose into an original character in the TFCon lore. But that was our first ever exclusive, and there was a run of 100 of those. And those sold out, and whoever was lucky enough to get all of those that sold out have a very important piece of the TFCon lineage of exclusives, but that was our first exclusive. But that was a very unique opportunity to be able to get something that was a pseudo official release. After that, we were like, well, we want to continue this exclusive thing. And this is before the third-party boom, keep in mind also. That didn't start until late 2007 with City Commander. There was this company called Justy Toys that would do world's smallest stuff. And we talked with them and were like, hey, could we get an exclusive repaint of some kind? And so they did the G2 Slag, world's smallest, exclusive to TFCon. And that was our 2007 exclusive. And again, it actually didn't sell very well because the cost was very high to do a low number, because TFCon back in 2007 wasn't getting the huge numbers it was today. So, I mean, if you only get about 600 people at your convention and you have 500 figures, you're assuming that literally almost everyone's going to buy an exclusive. You know, that doesn't always happen.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't sell them all, but we did okay. And that was our second exclusive. And we started building a better relationship with third-party people because we always had to discuss our exclusives. It wasn't until third-party became so huge and such an issue, to the point that even Hasbro was addressing it and Aaron Archer was talking about it at panels, that we went, you know what? We could run with this. And that's how it all kind of grew from there. And now the third-party panel is a big thing, and there's big epic reveals, and there will be at Chicago also. You know, so the image that we got, to me, is not a negative image, because it changed from being the Canadian convention, that small convention in Mississauga, to the #1 fan-run convention in the world. The best place to go to get third-party items, which, let me tell you something, doing Transformer conventions, people spend more money on third-party items than they do on anything else now. People drop insane money for these combiner teams and these third-party not this, not that, than they do sometimes on their retail and masterpiece stuff.
Well, I think even, you know, most of the big retailers have come out and said, you know, that they're going to stop, like TF Source, BBTS have come out and said that they're big money makers online, from their online sales of third party and masterpiece. So that gets into a whole separate conversation of, you know, what's really moving, what do people want. But it's funny that when we talk about this, I listened to you on TFYLP about the Brave.
The Brave stuff.
Yeah, that was a good show, by the way. And
Thank
shout
you.
out to those guys. But on there, when the third party came up, they kind of got a little derailed for a minute. But it seemed like, you know, you were talking about how there's, you know, more combiners coming, more of the same, and not some of these more obscure characters that you seemed like you wanted to see. It seemed like you're carrying some frustration with the predictability of third party and the third party game. How does that carry over?
Well, the thing is that the truth of the matter is that my opinion and what I want from Transformers is actually not profitable. So the reality is that while I would love to see this, or while I'd love to see that, I understand why they take the directions they do. Because money is money. Like, for them to release an Optimus Prime toy will always sell better than for me to get my Nitro Convoy. I'd really like to see. You know what I mean? No one gives a shit. Like, only I care about Nitro Convoy. You know, like, I'm probably the one guy in the world that does. But it's just, the thing is with me with third party that always has been an issue is that I find that they're stuck in not only just Transformers, but they're stuck in that bubble of 84, 85, 86.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
But to be fair, that's what 99.9% of people view as G1.
Mm-hmm. That's what 90% of your fans are stuck in. You know?
There you go. So from a marketing perspective, from a safety perspective, it is a lot safer to do yet another Defensor, or yet another this, or yet another, you know, Bruticus or something, than to go the route and go, well, I'm going to do Road Caesar. I'm going to do, you know, Land Cross or something. Well, see, now you do, I would too, but the thing is that we are a minority compared to what I call...
Amongst a minority.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention, the reality is that the casual Transformer fan is the most important person. And doing TF cons, you see what sells. When there's a difference between going to a convention and being an attendee and being a consumer and shopping, and then being the guy who stands there every day, 12 hours a day, and watching what people have in their bags. And you see people want to have those 84, 85, 86 characters in the best possible representation they could be, which would be a masterpiece-esque or classic-esque kind of look. And that is what is totally swaying everything. And it segues to the first question, which is the reason why we focused on third party so much was when you have the Transformer fandom spending a majority of their money on non-Transformer licensed products that Hasbro won't dare touch or talk about, someone should scoop in there and take advantage of that. And we were those people. If someone's going to talk about, a majority of what the fandom is obsessing with, why act like it doesn't exist?
Yeah, well, there was I remember when the rumors were hitting that the press release was coming out that Hasbro was asking, behind closed doors that, any convention that wanted to carry, the Hasbro name, not allow third party stuff on the floor.
Well, that actually relates to us too.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say was that it came out that BotCon, that year had like a pretty tight grip on it. But then it also came out that TFCom said, basically, we're sorry to hear that. And I can tell you from a fan perspective of third party stuff, and I'm a big Masterpiece fan as well, but it was kind of like it was kind of like fuck yeah, from like fuck them. It's like just for having the audacity to even tell you what the fuck to do with your own show. I know I appreciated it from a fan perspective.
Well, the thing is that people always asked, would you ever want to be an official convention? We said no, because then we lose the control. That's the thing. And we used to have Hasbro would be a guest that would come to our convention 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009. When the third party thing became such an ingrained part of our convention, Hasbro said, I'm sorry, we can't come if you guys carry that stuff. And you know what we said? Thank you for your time. Bye. Because to us, that was more important. It is more important. It's more important from a marketing standpoint because that's what defines us. Otherwise, we're just BotCon Junior, and you don't want to be junior. You want to be senior. You want to be senior or something. It's the old saying, it's better to rule in hell than serve in heaven. So
how does that tie? I mean, dealing with these companies, is it purely on a promotional level, or is there any relationship with the team of TFCon and these third-party companies outside of that?
Well, how it originally started was, again, through our exclusives. First, it was just kind of like we would have roundtables with them going, well, what will you give us?
Right.
And if it didn't work out, well, thank you for your time. But we were very lucky during 2006, 2007 that this company, I don't know if you've heard of them, Fans Project, they were one of the first companies that were like, hey, can we get a table? We want to show off our stuff. And they were like teasing at this, it's Protector, armor. And then they were teasing at these like combiner ice robots which would become the Glaciobots like 5 years later. It took that long to engineer those. But they got a table and they were showing off their stuff. This was before the concept of showing off third-party exclusives before they come out and stuff. They got a table just to show off their merchandise, and it grew from there. Because when they did it, now all the other third-party guys are like, maybe we should do that too. They're getting all this press, this Fans Project. And now Fans Project, as big as it is today, they kind of paved the way for us because one of our first big third-party exclusives was Fans Project related, which was our Powered Commander. And that sold out like instantly. We had 500 units of that at $120 a piece, and they were gone by Saturday evening. It was like boom. And so that told us a lot of things. It made us like take a step back and go, this is some serious stuff. This is very important to the fans. And that's what we wanted to always have control of. We wanted, like when Hasbro wanted to step in and go, hey, like we want to be a part of this convention, but you lose the control. If the fan convention loses control from its fans, then you lose everything. You want to go to a convention that's run by Hasbro under its thumb, go to BotCon. Plain and simple. You want to go to, like, you guys came to the show. You felt the atmosphere. You know what I mean? You understood. And again, it's a big show. It's not a small little quaint little show that happens in the corner of the universe here. It's a big show. And it got even bigger this year. It was huge this year. But at the same time, we like that the fans control it because the fans know what fans like in general. You know, we might always be at odds at, you know, who turned into who out of Scourge and Cyclonus. We might, you know, question who's Rumble and who's Frenzy. But when it comes to having fun, we all have a general consensus on that. And so making the exclusives, writing fiction, just having a good time at the bar or the water slides or whatever, which is a part of TFCon now also. It's just one of those things that we wanted to create a convention that was straight up for the fans and that everything about it is for the fans. Right down to the bar, where you go to the bar and the menu is Transformer related. Like we take the time and effort and go to the bar and go, look, we want to have drinks that are named after certain things in Transformers, and we want to have the menu be as cheap as possible. You know, that way people don't have to go out and eat. And we actually like bribed them. We said, look, if they don't eat at the bar, they're going to go eat somewhere else and you lose money, you know? So they had to bite the bullet and charge, you know, nachos and chicken fingers so that they can make profit. But, you know, we do that for the fans so that kind of stuff could exist. And the sad thing is that BotCon, I've been going to it since 2001 and a lot has changed. And it's gotten to the point now, at least with BotCon, I still love it, don't get me wrong, but it's gotten to the point now with BotCon is they kind of go now, let's make them jump and we'll see how high they jump. You know, like they'll go, because if you look at the evolution of the box set prices, it's gone from $280 to $400. And there's no inflation in the planet that could explain that.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
Speaking of exclusives, what has been your favorite TFCon exclusive? And also which has performed the best?
The best performing one, well, I guess outside of Powered Commander, because that was the given. Okay. I'm going to look at them right now. And my favorite personally, of the ones that were done directly through us, I'd have to say I really liked, and again, it's a personal thing.
Sure.
I really liked Vanguard from the GoBits. That was something that I really wanted. I wanted to do GoBot exclusives for a long time. And then a lot of people didn't realize it, but the year that we did it was also the 30th anniversary of GoBots. That it was kind of like a double celebration. So, and I really wanted to do Vanguard from the GoBots, who was a real, like, people don't know GoBots. Again, like the stuff that I like might not be profitable, but I really wanted to do GoBots. And we talked with iGear and we're like, here's the molds we have. And it was just like perfect timing. It was just like, yeah, we could finally do a Vanguard and we could do the phone in an easy, you know, an easy Pathfinder, you know, like which not BotCon, eHobby did a while back. So that was one that I really wanted to do. And it was an excuse for me to write GoBot fiction with Alex Milne, which was great. So to have the guy who works on More Than Meets the Eye draw a GoBot comic, what more could you ask for? You know,
wow.
And it was great because you have James Roberts who came down that year. And when James came that year, he looked at the comic and he noticed the art style and he was like, Alex, did you draw this? And he was like, maybe. Yeah, because he couldn't credit himself on it, you know, because he's currently working on it, on the Transformer books. But for him, it was a trip to see Alex Milne, who's drawn this great More Than Meets the Eye book all these years. And here he is drawing Gobatron was such a big deal, at least for me. That was one. The best-selling one, though, outside of Powered Commander, I'd have to say, was we had an exclusive called Toxin, which was this. It was a limited run of 100, and it was like a Headmaster Snake kind of thing. It was done by Head Robots, and that sold out. Oh man, maybe like 40 minutes.
Huh.
Yeah, like that. And that character was so popular with the fans afterwards. He endured, that character of Toxin endured so much that he actually made a cameo in the IDW comic books. The third-party character that we created made a cameo in the IDW comic books, just to re-emphasize it.
That's pretty cool.
And he's probably the most popular character out of everything that we've created. He's the most popular character, to the point that if you go on TFW, there's customs made of him, of like classics versions. There's tons of them. And he's someone that whenever I write the fiction, I try to have him reoccur because he's so popular. Like I always see him as kind of like the Boba Fett character, where he's a villain, but a lot of people really like him. So
right.
So
that's awesome.
Back. And
you recall? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, and he's always been like, I even plan for any future stuff. I'll always try to bring him back. But anyways, you're gonna say?
Do you recall what book he was in offhand?
I'll tell you right now. One sec, because if you go on the TF wiki and you type in Toxin, he shows up.
Oh, okay.
Like that. That's how ingrained officially he is. Is that it was a character that how it even came about was we were given this Snake Headmaster by Head Robots, and they're like, do something with it. And I was like, okay. And so I didn't name the character. That credit goes to Cheers Ian, who's one of our staff members. He's in charge of the charity auctions. But I created a character around him, how he was a scientist and everything. And because he was a headmaster, I was like, and third-party headmasters, they don't come with bodies. You just attach them to whatever.
Right.
So I used my knowledge at the time of what was the cheapest headmaster body you could buy, going to bot cons and TF cons, and I was like, oh, Chrome Dome is probably is the cheapest. Like if you could buy just his body Chrome Dome at at least back then, and for as cheap as $5. Wow. A headmaster without his guns and head, just the loose body back then, no one cared.
Right.
Now it's a little different, but back then no one cared. So I put him, and I talked with Joshua Perez, who was the colorist for IDW, and I'm like, let's work out a color scheme together. And I literally took like MS Paint in like very ghetto style. I took a picture of the Chrome Dome toy and just sprayed over the body parts and the colors that I wanted it to be. I showed it to Joshua Perez. He made it reality, mixed with Alex Milne's incredible art style, and that character was born. Then Josh Burcham, who is the current colorist right now for Mortem Meets the Eye, he was doing some coloring for certain scenes, and he noticed that Chrome Dome accidentally appeared in two places at once. And he was like, uh-oh, what are we going to do? And Alex doesn't really like redrawing entire panels. So instead, what they did was they tweaked the head of that Chrome Dome into Toxin's head, and then Josh Burcham colored it as Toxin.
That's very cool.
That's pretty
awesome.
awesome.
Then when he told me that he did that, I made sure to make a mention of that in Toxin's next appearance in the TFCon fiction, so that it all goes full circle. So where third party actually affects first party, and it was just, it's so fun to do stuff like that. That's always been kind of a dream of mine to always, like, I never considered myself a writer. I never thought I'd ever be writing Transformer comics, but it's thanks to the opportunities that Alex Milne and Joshua Perez gave me that I get to have fun like that.
That's pretty awesome. This next question we might have to cut out and post at a later date in one of our shows. But is there anything you can hint at reveal-wise?
Well, I don't. It's not. See, and it's weird because it was shown at TFCon, but everyone didn't notice it. Our exclusive for Chicago, which is a character by the name of Axis.
The X-Transbots black.
Yeah, the black, which is crazy because that exclusive was at the show. You could have taken pictures of it, but no one noticed it because we put it in such a weird place near we had these glass cabinets of all the new third-party stuff, and everyone was going crazy for, oh my God, look at this one, look at that one. And there was our third-party exclusive, and we didn't say what it was. It was just there, and no one really noticed it or took photos of it. That's going to be our exclusive. He is in the comic, so people who are curious who that character is, what his story is, where he came from, he will have a bio that's going to be written by me, a trading card that's going to flesh out his story more, and he is going to be in the comic, which will be at Chicago, and it will be available for free to all attendees. All attendees of TFCon get a free comic book that's drawn by Mr. Milne, written by me, and it's really cool. It's really awesome. We're going to have quite a few guests this year. More than TFCon Canada. Wow. And the reason for that is because we're in America, so it's a lot easier to fly in guests. The unfortunate thing is, and it was something that was addressed last time, some of those guests will have to charge for autographs. That's just kind of the reality of how conventions are today. But because we do the charging of the autographs thing, we are able to get a lot more guests. That's just
we queued everybody in that listens to our show to your Canadian Slag episode where you guys spoke about that in pretty great.
Yeah,
and that's one of our other questions is when the fuck is Canadian Slag going to come back into regular rotation?
Well, I'll get to that one in a moment. Actually, you're one of many people that have been screaming at us about that. Well, I'll get into the guests. We have Dan Gilbazon, the voice of G1 Bumblebee. He's going to be there, and his manager, his wife, that's always in his shadow. Mrs. Gilbazon is a mainstay. Dan, what's cool about him is he's going to be bringing copies of his autobiography called Bumblebee and Me. So he'll be selling those also that weekend and signing them. So that's going to be pretty cool. So if you didn't pick up his book, and it's I actually bought it at a BotCon 2 years ago. It's a pretty interesting read. He has a lot of funny stories that happen behind the scenes with the G1 cast.
Right.
Because Stanton Brothers and the name of the voice of G1 Inferno got two of the best ever. There's a lot of crazy and almost racist stories that are hilarious. So it's a good pickup. It's a good pickup because it's a hilarious book. After that is Alan Oppenheimer. People know him as Warpath and Beachcomber from G1, but he was also the voice of Skeletor from He-Man.
Sure.
I think he was the voice of some other stuff too. He's a very big Hanna-Barbera, Filmation, Sunbow. You know, if you Google him, I'm pretty sure there's a ton of stuff I'm forgetting. But he's one of those 70s guys that he did everything back then. Just like Dan Gilbazon. He was Spider-Man. He was a whole bunch of stuff. Then it's not 100% confirmed. And this is where we might have to post this at a later date. But Arlene Bennis might be coming to the show. Arlene Bennis, we would know her as G1 Carly. Or alternatively in G.I. Joe, she was Baroness. She also did other characters too in Transformers and in other, again, she's that Hanna-Barbera, Filmation, she's all over the place if you kind of track her record. So, and she's not 100% confirmed right now because she lives in Chicago. So we're just trying to get her right now to come, but it's more a matter of if everything works out. Okay, then next we have is Venus Terezzo. And she's the voice of Black Arachnia. She was the voice of Ranma 1/2's female form in Ranma. And she did a whole bunch of other stuff also. Again, she's a more Vancouver crew of voice actors. So that's more the 90s crew and stuff. And sorry, my wife is making me laugh for some reason. Anyways, and then, she's going to be there, and that's the Beast Wars contingency, so she's really cool to have. And she already did a TFCon 2 years ago, and she was hilarious. She's really funny. A lot of great stories. After that, again, another one that isn't confirmed 100%, but he's a local, and we're trying to get him to come, is Bob Skur. Now, Bob Skur was one of the head writers for Beast Machines and Beast Wars, and if there's one thing that I learned, writers who are guests are probably the most fascinating guests of them all, because there's always so much stuff that just never happened that was always planned to happen.
Right.
And Beast Wars is actually filled with that, because there was episodes that were full scripts that never happened, like Dark Glass, and then there was episodes of Beast Wars, Beast Machines that never happened, like The Greater Ape. And so there's so many questions, and you know, if there was a season 4, you know, like those are always the most interesting guests, I find, the writers, because there's always so much ideas that never happened, that the what ifs, if you will. Then again, the whole stretch of creative guys. Aaron Archer's coming back. He had a great time at TFCon. He had a great time talking to fans, educating people on stuff, because everyone knows Aaron Archer, the Transformer guy, but they didn't know Aaron Archer, the guy who did everything else from your childhood that you didn't even know. Case in point, almost every Batman toy you bought in the 90s was Aaron Archer.
Right.
A lot of people didn't know that. Yep. Well, that's just it. Like, and he made sure that when he had his panel, that he's like, here's all these Batman toys. That's all me. Yeah, Kenner. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Like, and
So
it blew my mind too, because I'm someone who prides myself on knowledge, and I had no idea of any of this.
That first Batman with the belt thing coming out of his
You're referring to the very first Batman movie toy, correct?
Yeah, the first Batman movie toy. Yeah.
He started right with Batman Returns.
Oh,
which is when the whole repaint started and everything. Also, like now we have Aqua Batman, Laser Batman. All the Bruce Timm stuff he was on, the Dark Knight Returns, the Dark Knight series, the Ninja Force, all that '90s Batman toys. The majority of them was him. That Batman you're actually referring to is '89. So
okay, well.
Yeah, so it's a little bit before he joined, but it was interesting, and he talked about all the other toy lines he worked on. He worked on a lot of obscure stuff, like there was one called Tiger Sharks, which was like related to Thundercats and all of that. Yeah. Like he worked on a whole bunch of, and he was just pretty much there to go, I'm Aaron Archer. Yes, you know me for Transformers, but here's everything else I did. And he also let people know how much he worked on Transformers until he left. Like he actually was working on Transformers right up until Age of Extinction. He was even working on Age of Extinction stuff. Really? Like that shows how much of the process he was a part of until he left, and how early it's planned. Also.
Well, look, I really just wanted to thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I'm a big fan of TFCon, so is T2RX6, and we're both going to be there again this year, and 4/6 of the cast is going to be there this year, and we're really looking forward to it. And after talking to you last year, I was pretty confident that we'd never see one in the States. So when we heard there was going to be one this year, we definitely
essentially the decision for that came because of what seems like where Fun Pub is going in the future, which is there's a lot of weird rumblings that are going on with BotCon, where there sounds like there's two things that are going to happen. There might be a merger of conventions.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, let's just say the seeds have already been planted in a lot of ways if you look at it.
Yeah, I've heard some stuff about that.
And the second thing is keeping it more Mid-South and West Coast, where every other... Yeah, I know. Exactly. And that's why when we kind of got... Again, the people that we talk with for our convention are in the know. Like we all kind of share information here. And needless to say, it's not looking like... I mean, I don't want to set in stone say you heard it here first, and it's never going to be in Florida, and it's never going to be in New York. It's still possible that it might happen one day, but they're really trying to keep it low cost and more close to home. That's just how Fun Pub functions, and they'll only really venture if there's some kind of reason, a movie, an event, or something, something that's big budget, $1 million money. So we saw it as an opportunity to go, well, now they're kind of ostracizing another section of the country. Why don't we fill that void? Again, look for the opening, go for the jab. So
Very nice. Well, look, thanks again for coming out.
wait,
problem.
wait. Well, I'm sorry. One question. So
Yep.
after this success in Chicago, will there be another one next year?
We'll see how we do. If it's
All
a complete bomb, we won't do it. Yeah, like that's just it. It's again, we'll see.
I'm sorry.
If
No
we,
worries,
no,
man.
no, you don't have to apologize. It's one of those things that we have to do it, get a feel for it, experience it, and then we'll all sit down as a staff afterwards and go, "Hey, was this worth our time?" You know,
Right.
So if a group of people, like a podcast, were coming to a convention in Chicago with money on hand to buy things from the dealer room, is there a specified amount you may want them to have not budgeted into something?
I can never answer that question every time people ask me, because every person's different. Some people going, I want animated toys. Some people want to buy Masterpiece. I mean, what I always say, though, is be sure to hit the ATMs. Don't plan on getting the money there. You know, like that's the biggest mistake every person makes. Is because don't assume that ATM machines are going to have money, and don't assume that dealers take credit card. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
The thing I was kind of more getting at is there the possibility that we might see something Columpio-like that people may want to set some money aside for unplanned?
I'll be honest with you. There is probably something going to be there, but I do not know how much they're going to be. Let's put it this way. I knew Columpio was going to be at last TFCon. I had no idea what the price was going to be on that. Even with the Mario and Luigi. That one, oh man, I love that one. But I had no idea what the pricing was going to be. That's something that's always determined exclusively by the individuals. I know the pricing for our stuff.
Absolutely.
But for their stuff, that's totally up to them. I just discussed with you guys before how the profit margin thing works. So always play it safe. Bring 3 digits, you know.
Right.
Don't show up with a couple of Jacksons. You know what I mean? It's not gonna work in your favor.
Listen to you, Jacksons.
Okay,
you're going to be an American before you know it.
A couple of Gretzkys, because that's on the back of our $5 bills. So
Really?
I'm not even
Very
joking. That's serious.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. With that, I don't know if anything can be said to top that bit of information. So I definitely want to thank you for coming out, and
No problem.
And we look forward to seeing you in person in just a little over a month.
Cool.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, I look forward to it too. It's gonna be different.
So that's about enough of this. The next little topic kind of came up from something that Antoine was talking about in the chat. Now Antoine's on the Masterpiece train, so he feels a certain kind of way about him. But what is it? I'm just going to ask all of you. I'll just take it as my question for the week. Antoine, I'm going to ask all of you. Okay. Antoine, what do you look for in a toy, Masterpiece or otherwise? What is it you're looking for?
Okay. Well, in a Masterpiece, I look for the whole...
No, Masterpiece. No. Just in general. What do you want from a toy?
Oh, a perfect representation of the character I see in the cartoon. Period.
That's what you want.
Period. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else beyond that? Is there certain types of joints that you want, or is there anything beyond that, or do you just want the most accurate to the G1 cartoon or whatever cartoon that it represents?
Right. More accurate, and he comes with everything that was associated with him in the cartoon. The whole kit and caboodle.
Caboodle as far as cartoon accuracy. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Justin, what do you look for?
I don't know. I'm a weird mix of things, I'd say, because I do like to try to get as close as I can to, what came out in the cartoon, which is why, I'm a huge fan of Masterpiece, but that's not true all the time because I really like Fans Project things, and, they're really not... They are not aesthetically the cartoon, by any stretch of the imagination. Right. There's some that are closer than others, but generally, they're not.
Right.
Yeah.
In which case, that comes down to, I like, a high-quality thing, something that feels like something special. It's not your general, I can buy this off of a store, and, I feel like I got my value for the money, and it's fun to mess with. Defender, I think he's an awful Fans Project toy, worst one that's out there. He's not fun to transform, nothing, But then you go to, like, you know, Chrome Dome. Love that toy. Like, he's so easy, fun to transform back and forth. Great toy. Like, I'd recommend him to anyone. So, if it's not going to be Masterpiece for the sake of cartoon accuracy, then it has to be something that's vaguely close and, well, not even vaguely close, but, like, you know, only vaguely off-shooting and fun. So.
Right. I gotcha. Deluxe. Oh, God. Deluxe, what do you look for?
As long as it transforms, I'm good. I'm not picky about anything. You know, like I said, I have a wide collection, you know, variation of, you know, in my collection, you know, third party, you know, from G1 and stuff and everything. You know, I'm not really picky about, you know, if it's ball joints or if it's got universal joints and everything. I do like the, you know, I guess the aesthetics of, you know, the engineering of just Transformers alone. You know, I would love to work for Hasbro and to be an engineer for, you know, just to go through the process of making a Transformer. You know, and I just, like I said, I just like Transformers. I don't care if it's third party or if it's Hasbro. You know, I'm a big supporter of Hasbro, you know, because they've always been, you know, since the beginning. But, you know, third party, you know, are, you know, really have some good stuff out there. And, you know, if it's made well, you know, if it's not KFC, then, you know, I'm happy. You know, it's just, I'm not really picky about stuff like that. So.
Can I ask you a question? And I'm not being a smart ass at all. If you work for Hasbro, would you, every morning when you went in the bathroom to get ready for work, would you look in the mirror and go,
What?
I assume he said Hail Hasbro, but, you know.
I said Hail Baldwin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd probably jerk it off in the bathroom every morning when I went to work.
I work for Hasbro.
But, you know.
Would you transform me? I'd transform me.
That was fun.
Oh, Gregors.
Greg, what about you? What do you look for? Describe
fun. I want something that's going to be decent. I like decent quality. I really do. I understand that with some of this stuff, there's going to be a little bit of a little buyer maintenance. But like fucking Feral Rex, like he's pretty much like the perfect third party toy.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yeah, there's a couple things about him that are lacking. And yeah, the G1 Predaking didn't fucking double up on leg day. You know, I got it. And the G1 Predaking didn't do this and didn't do this and didn't do this. But, like, he's fun. He looks good. He fits in with, like, the rest of my stuff. He fits in with my Masterpiece. And the same could be said for Hercules. He's a good figure. He's not 100% G1. He's a mix of G1 and IDW, which is actually what I personally am into. And that's why I think he's a good toy as well as Giant. But Hercules fits my collection more because I'm a fan of G1 and IDW above anything else. So I really just look for things that I personally like. I don't really have a criteria. Like if it catches my eye and I like it, I like the way it looks, I like the aesthetic, I like the quality, then that's what I pick up.
I got you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
For me, it's about it's about the representation of the character that I'm in love with and how I know that character. So, for instance, like this is part of it anyway. For instance, like, you know, I would be much more excited about a Takara Masterpiece tailgate that looked like tailgate from IDW than from G1 because I have no connection to the G1 tailgate and I have tons of connection to the IDW tailgate. But for the most part, I'm more interested in just the G1 show. And to give an example, like I was just talking to Robert today actually, and I was like, let me give you this example.
Owner of Wacky Jackie's Anal Beads House.
Yeah. Shout out to Oscar. So I was like, you know, they could make a Takara Masterpiece, which is my, you know, arguably my favorite player in the game. Takara Masterpiece Optimus Primal. That everybody says best Masterpiece you'll ever get. Tops MP10. So in love with this figure. Can't believe I own it. It's that good. And I would more than likely pass on it because I just don't give a fuck about Optimus Primal. I didn't grow up with him. I'm familiar with the character.
Yes.
I just don't know anything about him outside of the show, and I never really got into him on the show. I thought it was dumb that they called him Big Bot, and that's about the end of my kind of connection to him.
Would you say that Bobby Skullface doesn't understand why kids love the taste of Optimus Primal?
I would guess so.
I actually am kind of with you there, Bobby. Like, you know, like my interest is primarily in G1. Like, I can get behind certain characters that are like, you know, I guess you call them like Neo G1, like, you know, your Star Sabers and stuff like that. Like, I'm in on those. Once Masterpiece does have like Masterpiece Rat Trap, like, you know, like I was interested in Rat Trap and Rhinox and all that because the price is easy to justify. But once you start getting into Masterpiece prices, like, not all that interested, you know. So.
Right.
Well, and I don't know where Bobby's going with this, and Justin, you actually said something I wanted to say. Kinda, you said it a lot nicer and not confrontational, like I was going to do. But like, you wouldn't buy Optimus Primal, but you're all in for Star Saber, and you've not watched Victory ever.
I've seen portions of it. I can't get through.
Yeah, I think he's talking to me.
Oh, okay.
I've got the answer for you for that.
I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying.
No. That's completely 100% valid. Here's the thing. I want to like it. Like if they put out that Optimus Primal, that Masterpiece Perfect Optimus Primal, there's this voice in me that wants it, that says this is going to be a nice quality Transformer toy. Get it. It's just that when it comes down to it, I'm like, I don't know who that is. I don't have any sort of thing. And it's the same thing with Star Saber, except the voice of reason justifies it.
So here's the thing. IDW puts out Optimus Primal in the comic book, you know.
It changes the game.
Yep, now you're in, right?
It changes the game.
Assuming it's an interesting character or something.
And it's
or
not even
story.
that Star Saber is in IDW, you know, like it's not even that aspect of it, even though I do love Star Saber in IDW. No, I think I'm thinking about Diatlas.
Yeah, Diatlas.
Yeah, disregard. But still disregard. But
you know what my favorite piece of Star Saber fiction is?
What's that?
The end credits of Victory.
Well, yeah. Well, that's my backup plan. So the thing is that Victory, you know, it's still, as far as I'm concerned, it's a Japanese G1. So it's still G1, just wasn't my G1. So my voice of reason that usually triggers on stuff like a Masterpiece Optimus Primal doesn't trigger. It's like the reflex doesn't kick in, so the credit card comes right out. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's no interlocutor.
Man, Beast Wars was a great fucking show. I don't care what anybody says.
I hear you, man. I've watched it. It's not for me. I can't get into Maximize, Terrorize, Big Bot. I can't get into that shit. I can't.
Oh, the storyline was great. I mean, it was. I understand. I mean, it's you. But
I can enjoy.
No, I agree that the storyline is well thought out. It's well developed. It's arguably top 3 Transformer stories ever told. Like, I get that. I do. I get it about that. It's just the bells and whistles of that show, the accents, so to speak, of that show, and I don't mean it like in terms of Hail Hasbro. I mean it like just like the yes and the Big Bot and all that shit. Like, I can't get into it. Like, it turns me off.
Okay.
Wow.
That's understandable. Yeah, I mean, if I want to see a good storyline on Transformers, it's what I usually go to is Beast Wars, and it is kind of corny, you know. They got some different accents, and everything. But I mean, if they did a Masterpiece Optimus Primal, I'd be on, or Dinobot. I think a lot of people want to see Dinobot
right.
made.
Right.
I mean, I'd be in for it.
He was the most interesting character with the most interesting.
Right.
And honestly, I don't think it's far fetched to think that these types of masterpieces could come, because the people who are of the age that grew up with Beast Wars are in the points now where
they're in their early 30s.
They're making the money now that can go for that, and maybe you're gonna see a shift away from G1 stuff as G1 people are approaching the points where most of them have a developed family, so that money's not there as much. Maybe.
Do you think third party would do it first, or do you think Hasbro would do it first?
I think
Hasbro would have to.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been saying that for the last year, but you talk about stories like. I know there's some things that you don't like about Beast Wars. Like I know there's some things that are corny because I think they're corny as fuck too. Like I know they never like had an episode about a charity race, and they never like stopped a high school student created robot. I mean, I know they never did anything serious like that. But like, I mean, it was solid fiction.
I hear you, but a cartoon appealing to the 5-year-old me is very different than a cartoon appealing to the 13-year-old.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to get at. It's about nostalgia, and it's about fucking with that nostalgia. Like you're not a 5-year-old. I mean, you weren't a 5-year-old in 96? Is that when it 97?
Yeah, 96.
You weren't a 5-year-old, and
16.
you weren't a 5-year-old in 80. Yeah, and so was I. You weren't a 5-year-old in 87 Japan. You know what I mean? It's just what appeals to you.
Right. No, but the thing is it's that same thing. Like Beast Wars has I have a sour taste about it. Like for a number of reasons.
My thing is it's funny what, and this might even be getting way off your topic. This might be a topic for something else, but the thing I'm getting from this conversation, the thing that I'm appreciating here is it's funny what you'll let trickle in.
Oh yeah.
Like you're not going to latch onto a figure or whatever, the best toy ever from something that came out when you were 15, but you'll allow a masterpiece of something that came out in Japan in like 80. When was Victory? That was the 90s, wasn't it?
87, 89.
Victory.
But that's okay, and I understand your reasoning. It's just funny to me. Like I just felt the need to like throw that out. That's what I was thinking about. Like you won't let Optimus Primal in, but you'll let Star Saber in. And I'm not debating you. I mean, no.
I got you. And I mean, like I said, like I get it. You know. It's like I think with Beast Wars it's a little bit more complicated. Like I'm a little bit more open to Transformers Prime than I am to Beast Wars, just because I'm at a different point in my life. But when I was when I was at 15 or 16 and Beast Wars came on, and to me hearing about it as whatever teenage year I was, and it was like Transformers is coming back, and I was like, oh shit! And then turning it on, I was like, oh, this isn't Transformers.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Who the fuck got a hold of this shit? You know what I mean? And I get it now as an adult. I get the whole, you know, we're gonna revamp it, we're gonna redo it, we're gonna start over, we're gonna grab a different fan base, we're gonna go with the animals because the animals always sold well in G1 and all that. I get it. But the teenage me did not get it. The teenage me was disgusted.
Man, I want to go watch fucking Beast Wars right now. You're talking about that shit. I want to go watch it.
Nostalgia itch, like you didn't connect, and that's the thing. Like it wasn't, and I made a stupid comment, and I didn't mean it to be a pun, but it's a completely different animal. Like you're okay with a continuation of like the robot and the vehicle stories, and I think that's why I'm like your psychiatrist here. I think that's why that you'll accept Star Saber, but then when he turns into a gorilla, like that was a foreign concept to you, but you like Prime. Because it was the same, like Optimus is the leader, there was Bumblebee, Ratchet, you know, whatnot, and then you turn into vehicles. Like it's a continuation of what you're used to.
Maybe.
Bobby doesn't like change.
That's also true. But there's a
Bobby doesn't understand why kids love the taste of Transformers Prime.
There's also a good chance that like if they did a Transformers Beast Wars type thing now with you know, if Prime would have been Primal, Transformers Primal, you know, done the same way, just with the beat, there's a good chance I would have been more into that as well, just because I'm a little bit more open to new things in my older age than I was, you know, at that age. At that age, I was very, very close-minded. But anyway, that is a good conversation to have.
Well, okay, well, I mean, the reason why I asked about Masterpiece is because, like, all the characters that you mentioned, like, for instance, like the Wheeljack that's coming out, like, when you went from the Wheeljack to be 100% from the cartoon, like...
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, dude. There's certain things they just can't do, right? Like
you can't hide the wheels?
there's certain things like with Starscream's like the seeker tip of the jet. Like they have to fold that shit up against the back.
Yeah,
It
some things
can't
you
just
can't
sit
do.
out like
Yeah.
like on the cartoon. It can't be nice and flush because there's just things. Like, and I really think that this was one of those things. Like
I agree. When it comes to like your wheels there, Antoine, I don't think that there's the space on such a small toy to hide them the same way. You know, I mean,
I'm not saying it's an issue or anything. I'm just saying, well, if they're modeling figures after the show, like MP10.
well, MP10's not even perfect to the show. I mean, does Optimus have big like tumors on the side of his legs? I don't think he did. You know, so yeah, there's a case where we're talking about hiding the wheels, and it's not perfect on MP10 in that regard. And the only company that I've seen has kind of got it, do that is the Toy World Orion. They hid the wheels on that legs better than MP10, but that doesn't make me think MP10's a horrible toy or
No, I'm not saying that at all.
anything like that. So to an extent, I can dismiss what's going on because it's close enough to what I want.
I think it's a compromise.
Can I explain it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
When, there's a person and I made this actually example to someone last night about meeting people off of Facebook, like people in the groups and whatever. But it goes to famous people, whatever. Like you have an idea in your head of what they're going to be like, right? And then when you meet them, they're different. And Antoine, you're a classics guy. And you just decided that you are going to start collecting Masterpiece things, which is fine, which I'm proud of you. And you're on your second Masterpiece figure?
Yeah.
And so, you're going from, a classics $12 price point toy to a Masterpiece toy, and you have an idea in your head, you're expecting magic. There's still going to be imperfections. Yeah. They're just compensated for, I guess you should say. They're not hiding the wheels on Wheeljack, but his proportions, his design is spot on. It's just with MP10.
Yeah.
It's like Justin said, they didn't hide the wheels, they didn't hide the fucking gas tanks, and there's other things, but they make up for it with detail, and they make up for it with a presence, if that makes any sense.
And love.
And love.
Yes. It's a crop between the show and the toy, pretty much.
Well, no, I don't think that's entirely fair to say. I think that what they're trying to do is they're trying to do the show,
right?
But there's just limitations in life and budget,
I just think they're being so damn picky. Damn.
Where they can't.
You're making toys for people that they assume are old enough to understand.
I ain't trying to be
They
picky.
can't make a triangle into a square. You know what I mean? So I think they give it what they got, and their main thing is to go for a show accuracy, and then they just add little nods to the toy as they can. I think that the thing on the wheels is not something to match the toy as much as it is just doing the best they could. But
if you want to line up with Vana Transformium and send it to Zakara. No,
Transformium.
That comes out Tuesday.
No one forgets about that bullshit.
Oh, can I tell you something about that? I tried to watch Age of Extinction this last weekend. And, because they said on demand now, and I went and opened it. It's like, buy it for $18. I'm like, why would I buy it on Verizon for $18? Are you kidding me? Just buy the Blu-ray when it comes out.
No, Tuesday. You can buy it Tuesday.
Well, I will buy it Tuesday. I'm just saying. I tried to, and Verizon's just like,
that's just the digital. I mean, it was download. You could download it from digital for $20.
I could download it from digital for free. I'm just saying.
That's true. I know that, but I'm just saying they're releasing movies early now on digital for people.
I forgot Justin hadn't watched it because I actually wanted to cut in something to the show, and I thought about it earlier. I wanted to cut in Justin's reaction to Age of Extinction and just be like a little clip of him giving it a review. Because I keep forgetting he hasn't watched it yet.
Nope, still haven't seen it.
In regards to, let me say this real quick. In regards to actual toy, what I'm looking for is...
Oh, Oh yeah, you were talking, weren't you?
some broken up paint. Like I hate seeing giant blocks of single color. Like I like a little bit of accent here and there.
Yep.
I want good material, and I don't want fucking ball joints used for main joints. I don't want ball shoulder joints. I don't want ball hip joints. Like that shit. Like I'm pinging anybody that does that from now on. Like I want at least universal joints for the fucking hips, if not ratcheted. I'd prefer ratcheted, but like ball joints on the hips is just, in my opinion, it's dated. It's dated and it's cheap. Not to say it can't be effective or anything like that. I totally agree. It's just for me, if I'm buying a quote unquote nice figure, I don't want fucking ball joints at the hips on a Transformers toy. And I wanted to have a general amount of articulation. I'm not even crazy about articulation. I just want a decent amount. I don't need double jointed elbows. I don't need double jointed knees. But I want ankle tilts, and I want something everywhere. But it doesn't need to be over the top. That's just me. Okay, so we have some questions this week. James C., our good buddy, says, actually he has two this week. His first question is, say Hasbro decides to drop most of their funding for all their things Transformers, yet they keep one. Possibly toys or animated shows or movies. However, the one they kept, they made so good, no fanboy could complain. Which would you choose?
Masterpiece.
This is Hasbro.
Masterpiece.
Okay.
No, seriously, like, you drop every toy line you have, drop all your shows, just make me the masterpieces of what every fanboy wants, and make them, you know, as close to perfect as you can get, and I'd be happy.
Okay.
Well, think about it. Yeah, if you got Hasbro and Takara double teaming it, maybe we'd have the first season G1 cast before we're 9.
Or at least the Arcbots.
I mean, there's no reason that a Hasbro person couldn't make a good masterpiece. You know, it's just that it's probably more cost-effective to do it elsewhere, you know?
I agree. And he says they can't complain, so whatever it is, it's top-notch.
Yeah. I mean, from my perspective, Hasbro has hired the people who are making great Takara masterpieces, like, into Hasbro, and that's what they're doing, masterpiece.
Mm-hmm. I just thought, sorry, when Justin just said there's no reason that Hasbro couldn't make good masterpieces, I was just thinking, yeah, they're too busy fucking up G-Axis. Anyway, sorry.
What about you, Antoine?
Wow. I guess not guess. Masterpiece. Yeah, it definitely had to be masterpiece.
Okay.
Good old Antoine being a new convert to the ways of the masterpiece.
New convert.
No. Actually, I had MPO 105 back in the day when I sold it.
Well, MPO 105, they're kind of your... Well, 05, which one was 05? Was that Megatron or Starkey? Yeah, okay. So that's your old model. Like, that's the before masterpieces became something really amazing, in my opinion. Like, don't get me wrong. MPO 1 is a good toy, too, for what it was at the time. But they've taken a step towards amazing with the most recent designs, I mean, undoubtedly.
Just one question. Where's the diecast at, man? Where's the diecast in masterpiece for you?
Well, I think that diecast has become a bit of a... I think that's a good discussion topic, actually, but I think that diecast has kind of become a controversial kind of thing, because we've seen so many companies do it poorly.
You know, I think we should save this for this.
So, Deluxe, what about you?
If Hasbro stopped doing stuff like that, I would stop collecting, because it has to be all Hasbro.
Really? But you're the fanboy. I'm
just kidding. I mean, you have to go with Masterpiece. I mean, that's probably one of the best lines that they have, and if Hasbro, like I said, Hasbro and Takara got together, we would have a lot of masterpieces to put out and everything. But what to say? If the production or the quality of it went down, I mean, there's a possibility that could happen.
Well, he's saying that you can't complain.
Oh, you can't complain? Oh.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm an MP. I mean, that's, everybody's going to say MP. I mean, that's just...
What about you, Greg?
We're talking toy lines, right?
He says anything. Toys, animated shows, movies, whatever you want.
I think Hasbro needs to keep making the shows and not make toys and let Takara, who are the originators of the fucking toys, make the fucking toys. Yeah. But it has to be the shows that make fucking sense, that don't have some fucking just Star Saber wet the bed and get scolded bullshit, and let fucking Japan worry about the fucking engineering and the fucking mecha, which is what they're good for.
That makes sense too.
Good for other things too. I'm not trying to sound like a racist or anything, but like they're good at robots. That's their thing.
Yeah, and I can agree with that. I mean, Transformers back in the day weren't the same thing over there as they were here, right? Like G1 was like differently done in a way, right? It wasn't verbatim same thing. That's why we have, what was it, like Destrons and whatever else. The
original series over there, I don't think. I mean, it was just the American one dubbed. Yeah. Like, it was just a toy line. It was just I don't want to say throwaway, but it was a throwaway toy line that was a hit in America. And America did the fiction. Right. And then Japan took it, and at the point of the movie, like, that's when it became a thing. Like, they were like, fuck, like, this is something big. And then they started doing their own fiction from what would have been season 3 for us onward, which was Headmasters and whatnot.
No, 4.
No, oh, yeah, you're right. Season 4, you're right.
Yeah,
because I'm thinking about the movie not existing over there until much later. So yeah, you're right.
And I also think that like the toy lines over there was 2 different toy lines. There was one that was like it was all vehicles and the robots, and then there was another one that was like everyday household items, like a gun or a boombox.
Yes, I believe so. It was like Micro Man and the other one, whichever one.
So they snatched up both, but like I'm with you, Greg. I'm just total Velociraptor moment. Like I would rather Hasbro stick with shows or movies. I could give a fuck which one it was, to be honest with you. But like they put all.
Just to be honest, I my thought just a little bit because I meant to do this before it went on. I would much rather have IDW do the fiction and Hasbro stick to writing paychecks.
Yeah, but like
be beneficial to everyone involved. I'm just saying.
I hear you. But I'm also like
make toys and Hasbro write the paychecks.
I'm also in like under the believing of like the philosophy, so to speak, of like never get a slice of pizza from Burger King. Do you know what I mean? Like
a
lot of pizza metaphors tonight.
I want
on pizza though.
I redact my answer. I never considered the ankle Greg threw out there, so yeah, I'm going with Greg. Just gotta say, good. That's a good answer. Solid. So, solid unit there, Greg. Solid unit.
Solid unit. Hail IDW.
But like I'm with like I would rather Hasbro stick to shows like a show that a fanboy couldn't complain about. That would be right up my alley. Like I would love that, and then I would leave it to Takara and these third-party companies to make the figures that I wanted. So yeah, that's that. And then James also goes on to ask a question to Just Deluxe, and he hopes that you can answer this for him. He knows he's going to catch hell, but he really wants to join the TFCC to be able to get the Marissa Fairborne afterburner set. He has the other 2 crossover sets. He wants to add to it. For numerous reasons. Will the set be a separate price, or is it the figure they ship for joining the stupid club? Is it worth the price, or would it be better to wait and try to pick it up on the aftermarket?
Well, first I'd say welcome to the dark side. You are welcomed anytime. I want to say this one is going to be. I don't think it's going to be the free figure.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know if they've actually announced the free figure for next year.
Oh, Fairborne?
I think Fairborne's going to be just a separate, the one you have to buy. Like they'll usually do, they'll do this subscription thing, but then they'll do a figure that you join, you get free, and then they do another figure they have to pay for.
So the free figure is not a Leo Convoy guy, or no?
Yeah, that's the free figure. It's the Leo Convoy. This one, the fairborne one, is going to be one you buy separate, which is going to probably be about $40 to $70, give or 60 or something like that.
Fairborne is the store exclusive, not the subscription.
Yeah.
So you don't have to subscribe to the club.
No, yeah, you don't have to. Well, you have to subscribe to the club to buy that. But I'm just saying you don't have to buy the subscription. The subscription thing for the 7 free figures is not part of that. It's going to be a separate. Before the subscription thing came along, like I said, they would have a free figure that you would get when you joined, and then they would either have 1 or 2 more that you could buy separately. So that's going to be one that you buy separately. Leo Convoy is the free figure that you get for joining the club. So, hope that answered your questions.
Okay, and Cable75, good dude, friend of the show, asked, would you like to see a third-party runamuck, runabout release without the gimmick? I think he mentioned Fans Project, but like, how is that high up on anybody's priority? Or
I wouldn't mind seeing an IDW from. That was the fucking beginning, wasn't it? Like, that was the very beginning of the IDW Transformers when we saw, yeah, that's Runabout Runamuck. Yeah, that was when they were chasing after Ratchet. Like, those were the first Decepticons we saw, weren't they?
I don't even remember at this point. I think the first...
I remember. I never forget, Bobby. Goddamn.
Honestly,
dude, I'd love to see them like decent, but I mean, if they're going to be $80 a piece, I might as well buy the Hasbro ones.
Yeah.
They're good.
Honestly, when it comes down to it, though, the ones that came out for classic, they're I hate to say it, but they're TFCC. They're good enough for me. I like how they turned out.
Just you, buddy.
Was that
fist bumps all night? That's what I just said too.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I hate to say that it was good because I hate a lot of the TFCC, but it's a good figure. And would I like to see like maybe Masterpiece Guild? Yeah, but there's like a dozen more Decepticons I'd rather see before them. So
yeah, this is not high on my list, but I think maybe Mech Ideas would do it like they did with the.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Matt, guess you and I are gonna fist bump. We're gonna fist bump over on this side.
You know what? Because they did a good job with the Demolition Crew. I mean, them were really nice figures. I wouldn't say use that mold or anything, but
no.
If Mech Ideas, and they were what $40. So if they did that for them, yeah, I mean I would buy them. I mean it's not high on my list, but I think it'd be pretty cool.
Antoine?
No.
Okay, I'm totally with Matt. I would love to fucking see it. I would love to see them done by somebody like Mech Ideas. It's like their follow up. Like, yeah, we did these two. Now we're gonna do these two. And like, if they kept that kind of like a theme and kept the price low, but the quality standard fairly high, I would love that. So yes.
Well, now keep in mind, I'm in the middle of the fence here because I did say the third party company did it and did the set, and they weren't $100 a piece.
Right.
So I'm still kind of with you, Bobby.
I hear you.
I'm your link between
I can have Bobby one time. I mean, goddamn.
I'm your link.
There's enough. There's enough for me to go around.
I got 1 foot in reality and 1 foot in the deluxe first. Don't worry.
Moja,
that's awesome. I like that.
Moja on YouTube asked us. Said we were talking about knockoff Fans Project Insecticons on episode 36, and we kind of got derailed, I guess, and never got back to it, and he wanted us to talk about it a little bit more. Does anybody know? I couldn't recall exactly what that was. I said we discuss it tonight, but I couldn't recall exactly what it was in reference to.
What happened was I got a knockoff Insecticon, and I have my real ones.
Oh yeah.
And I think we started talking about something more worthwhile than whatever. We were talking about what everybody got, and that was I know exactly what he was talking about. And then we went on to something else.
So he wants to know, I guess how were they? What was the price point? Just I guess.
The one I got was shrapnel. So what was it? Storm, thunder, lever, dildo guy.
right. Shrapnel. Gotcha.
Shrapnel.
Stone Cloud. Yeah, I guess.
The same quality plastic, but like don't the wrists rotate?
No.
On the real
No.
one?
No.
There's some things I don't even remember. Like, there's just little things about him that are off. I mean, he's decent if he's just going to stand there. Like, if you display and not play.
Right.
That's for Oscar. He's decent. Like, he's not bad, but, like, you can, like, I look at the real, like, even just the weapons. Like, you can see the difference. Like, the knockoff ones are, like, bleh. Like, there's, like, edges and shit, like, that are, like, fuzzy. I don't know how to describe it. If you're holding them both in your hand and you look at them, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, they're just sharper. Like, even just the little, like, mold marks, like, the normal marks you get from the mold are sharper on the Pants Project than they are on the knockoff. But, I mean, if you're going to buy them to display them, they're fine. But if
Aren't they about the same price, though? Like,
the knockoffs are, like, $30, 35. Well, you're thinking about when they first came out, because keep in mind, those fucking, the original ones are going for, like, $100 a piece.
oh, they are now? Okay. See, that's why I was wondering. I thought on eBay they weren't going for too much, because I know the what the heck's their names? The Ransack.
Yeah, well,
Chop
that's
Shop.
only 120.
Yeah, like they're not going for a ridiculous amount comparatively.
I paid $150 for mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and Robot Kingdom has the they have them listed at like $40-something a piece, but there's been a whole lot of fucking back and forth talk about how those are the knockoffs that they're selling, and that's not me saying that, so nobody fucking get up my ass, nobody fucking update their wiki about it, but with the rumors I've read in conversation on the interwebs have been that the ones that Robot Kingdom were selling are knockoffs that they didn't know about, and they're pushed. But like I said, those are rumors. Those are not coming from me as fact. I'm not blowing a whistle. I'm not correcting anybody. There's no actuallys coming out of my mouth. It's something I read.
And there you have it. I hope that helps. If it didn't, let us know, and we'll talk about what you need, which information you're looking for.
Send me an email, and I'll fucking talk to you.
So you're blue in the face. Lastly, Adam T, listener, we're doing him a solid tonight, and he has an TFC X-Graver, and it has, the feet are double geared on them. They both wind down together, and one of his is broken. So if you have an extra X-Graver, or you have a bucket of bits, and one of those happens to have an X-Graver leg in it, he is looking for one of the feet. So if you can help the guy out, let us know. Get in touch with us somehow, and we will hook him up. He's a good dude.
Can I throw a suggestion out?
Sure.
I don't know the situation. I saw the question. Who did he buy it from? Because if it's like, if there's something messed up on it, he should contact the person he bought it from. If he bought it from a reputable company, they should replace it or refund him. And if he bought it off the eBay, he's got 90 days.
Yeah, I got the feeling that this is maybe something. I don't know. I didn't look into it too much, but I got the feeling that maybe either he is responsible for the Antoine, your TV is on, for the issue, or that he broke it, or somehow he was responsible for it.
Okay. All right. Okay. I just I wasn't sure. I mean, it's a weird. I mean, there's no answer. Like any single factor in this scenario would affect the answers. So I just wanted to, cover all points, I guess.
I got you. I'm not exactly sure. So anyway,
if you got it in a trade from your buddy on the street, you should probably go stab him with a screwdriver. That's my.
And then there's that.
That's opinion.
We've lost. Is Antoine back?
The TV on.
Okay, so here we go. Shout outs for the evening. I hope you guys enjoyed the Proto Man interview. We've cut it in somewhere, so I hope you enjoyed that. I'm laughing because I'm not know exactly where it was cut in, and I'm hoping it was cut in before now, and whatever. So anyway, shout outs. Definitely shout out for your corpse. Good dude, holds us down every week, and the Chosen Prime, who we recently partnered with, and
what up, Brandon?
There you go. Kuma Style, he's got the pictorial reviews. KumaStyleDesigns.com. Give him a look. DubK at DubKToys.com for your official and third-party needs. I Am Ratchet at IamRatchet.com for your G1 needs. And I'm looking forward to meeting you in person, Morgan.
Bobby loves a good ratchet.
I do love a good ratchet. And also shout out to TF Prototype and Third Party TF Crashers, Yule over there, and all those guys. They're good dudes, and those are good places on Facebook. You can just search Third Party TF Crashers.
I have a thing to throw out when you're done. Sorry.
Sure. And I'll get to that at the end, and then we got the Shapeways fan art thing in there as well. Go ahead. What do you got?
Sorry, I just didn't know how to slip it in there. My phone's across the room. And at this point, like, we've been into this shit so long that I don't even care anymore about decorum. If there's anything out there, like, I am trying to organize, like, put together this epic TFCon special. And I'm working out in my head, and I'm trying to think of what is feasible. So, you, the listener, if there is anything you can think of, an idea that we could feasibly do to make, like, an epic TFCon special, and that 6 of us are going to be there, let me know. Me personally, look me up on Facebook, or you can send a message, put a message in the comments, whatever, just on Twitter, whatever. Just let me know, because I'm trying to come up with an idea, like a cohesive, like, plan.
Absolutely.
And you, the listeners, you're the ones that are going to hear it, watch it, hopefully. So I have an idea right now. I think it's going to work. I haven't even told the rest of these guys, like, my entire plan. I'm talking to people that are going to be at TFCon. I'm trying to put it together. But if you have any ideas in the next, like, let's say 2 weeks, because, we only have 4 weeks. So the next 2 weeks, let me know. Please. Go Hasbro.
Hail Hasbro. In the meantime, come be a nerd at the cool table with us on YouTube at youtube.com/ShatteredCast Uncut, Podomatic at podomatic.com/ShatteredCast Uncut, Facebook. We're pretty active on there and pretty up to date at facebook.com/ShatteredCast. Twitter at ShatteredCast with only one E, and it's the one after the T. Tumblr at shattercast.tumblr.com. Blogspot, check out Deluxe's reviews. He's doing one that's super fucked up pretty soon. At shattercastuncut.blogspot.com, and hit us up on email with any questions, comments, courtesies, or concerns at shattercastonline@gmail.com.
So you guys know, Bobby's been practicing sit in the mirror for the last week, like fucking Eminem and 8 Mile.
No, it's been like Marky Mark and Boogie Nights. Like, you are a fucking star. You are a fucking star. So anyway, we're filling in for Oscar. So
quick shout out to Oscar, who can't be here for a while.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was somebody else that we're supposed to fucking shout out tonight. And
Antoine's TV.
No, it's something else. It's something else I've fucked up. I apologize to whoever it was I was supposed to give love to tonight. I'm terribly sorry. I will curse me out on something.
Did you do Dub K?
I did do Dub K. I didn't forget that one. So anyway,
or Morgan, you did Morgan.
I did. I got all the standard issue units. I got all the standard issue units. It was some old, did you? It was just an old special unit I was supposed to get.
You did Marcus just for being.
Yeah, shout out to Marcus. Actually, I saw Marcus say something funny as shit on
Somebody
Facebook.
shut off your fucking TV, Jesus Christ.
That's Antoine. Antoine's got company, so we're gonna let it go. But Marcus said something funny. There was a guy on Facebook that was talking about smoking marijuana for the first time, and like all these people were saying, don't do it or do it or don't do it or do it. And Marcus's comment was, it's a little late to start smoking marijuana, which was pretty awesome. I don't know why it hit my news feed, but it did. Shout out to Marcus. Anyway, so to conclude this evening, take care of yourselves and each other. By all means, respect or collect responsibly.
And mute your microphones.
And collect responsibly. And Antoine.
You've been shattered.